Hey guys, what is going on? It is Obadiah, and today we are back with another episode of Music or Hideout, show where we hang out with artists and entertainers and chat about shit and drink beer. And it's been a long time, so I don't remember if I have more to that intro or if that was the whole thing.
You say where we are too.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're doing this out of Waylon Jennings' old house basement studio. It feels
real rusty.
Yeah, it's real rusty. This is doing this every week for a while. But anyways.
You want to redo?
No. Yeah. Hey guys, what is going on? No, I'm not going to redo it. But I am here, of course, as always, with co-host Ryan Poole, who I will pass it to for the intro of our guest.
Hey everybody. Today our guest is Chris Resovsky. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah, that's perfect, actually.
Okay, good.
Well done.
Resovsky. Do I need a little
Yes,
more of a
you
roll?
have every time.
It'll get the more we drink, the better that name will get.
Oh, yeah, it will. Oh, yeah.
Chris is a freelance sound engineer. He does some live sound around town and also studio sound. Chris came up at Echo Mountain Recording Studio I probably said that. That sounded weird coming out of my mouth. Echo Mountain
Recording studio, yeah.
They call it Echo Mountain Recording Studio?
Heck yeah, they do.
Okay.
What else do they
North
call it?
Carolina. I don't know. It's just maybe it'd be weird like if I said the Hideout Recording Studio. It feels weird to say, but
It's not weird. You're
technically
weird.
accurate.
It's
Maybe I am.
absolutely accurate.
So Echo Mountain in North Carolina, which I actually saw that studio in a documentary about the Avett Brothers. It was a super cool place.
It's very cool. I worked with a band of horses while I was there, actually. Yeah.
Ooh, we're going to have to talk about that.
Oh, cool.
And now Chris works at the Castle here in Nashville. It's actually more like in Franklin.
Indeed.
Cool connection to the Castle. The Castle used to be owned by, what's his name? Al Capone's accountant.
Yeah, one of them, yeah.
And it has like
That's
secret
sketchy.
passageways and crap, right? And like rumored secret passageways.
Has
Yeah.
no one ever found them or what?
Yeah, nobody's ever found them.
So they probably don't exist.
But supposedly it was
see.
it was one of Al Capone's hideouts during
I
Prohibition.
don't think anybody really wants to do any digging around there, you know?
You don't know what you might find.
Right.
Exactly.
Start an incident.
All of a sudden your studio starts getting closed down for investigations.
Is it actually a castle?
Way worse than like an
It
Indian
looks
burial
like a
ground.
castle. It's like all stone construction.
Yeah, like you can't miss it.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Some
looking
castle
place.
Very
esque at
clearly a
least.
castle, yeah.
Okay.
And Chris also has along with our friend Lance the Studio B
Bass?
here. So yes,
Exactly.
Lance Bass.
Wow.
But you can't see it on the stream. But if you look back there, there's another 2 rooms for the studio.
Yeah, you guys don't know how deep this goes. You'll never see this one room.
Yeah.
And sometimes that other room when the internet in here is bad.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a long intro for Chris, but he is a recording engineer, and so excited for the first time to have a guest that is not an artist, but on the tech side.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
music
no
industry.
idea what the hell y'all are talking about
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah.
That's right, we'll know.
I'm going to pass to Chris. Chris, what are we drinking tonight?
Tonight, we are drinking the lovely and the wonderful Bell's Two-Hearted Ale. Cheers, fellas.
Can you tell us how it's made or its deep history?
No, but I'll tell you, it's made in Michigan. It's a Michigan brew.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
didn't know
fantastic.
that.
It's a staple. It's a very, very classic staple craft IPA served around the United States. Yeah. It's
Yeah, if you like IPA,
it's
you'll
really
like it.
tasty. That's right.
So this might not get as wild as some of our like Scotch episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got any scotch? We can bust it out.
It's no Scotch episode.
I got a lot of
You didn't tell me I could bring scotch.
Oh, we've done it all. We've done it all. Should have seen the heroin episode.
Oh, man.
But
Sorry, I'm like,
disclaimer, there was no heroin episode.
I'm trying to post to the Instagram, but so I missed that at first. What the hell?
Took you a minute. But anyways, Chris.
Yo.
It's like, wait, sorry, just
Yeah.
this joke's late, but like you just reminded me of The Ringer. It's like, when the fuck did we get ice cream?
When
Like,
the fuck did we get ice cream?
when the fuck did we get heroin?
That's a good one. Well played.
But we always like to start getting a little bit of our guest history. So what started you off in music? How did you start this whole thing began that led you here?
Well, that's a long story. I guess I meant to ask you before this, like how long?
how long are the episodes?
How deep do you want me to get here? Like
Well, our
start
shortest-
after high school or what?
Our shortest episode's an hour and a half. Our longest episode has been 5.5 hours.
Holy
so
crap.
it's really up to you.
Let's not do a 5.5
That was the
hour
Scotch
episode.
night.
Ooh, okay,
So-
touche.
That's rare though.
Note
Usually,
to self, thanks for telling me not to bring scotch.
yeah, usually we're right around 2 hours. So we got time.
Nice. So how did I get into music? Well, childhood, listening to music growing up, all that good stuff, just like everybody else, pretty normal childhood. And then after I got a lot more involved in music when I was in high school, really started to fall in love with it. And then, but always was more interested in the behind the scenes, like how were records cut, what's going on in these big live shows that you see that makes them sound and look so big and awesome. That was always the stuff that I was more interested than playing, because I didn't like playing in front of people, to be honest.
No.
I didn't like it. I could do it with groups of people, it was cool, but I got nervous, and I don't know, it wasn't a bunch of fun for me. So I was more interested in the technical stuff, and so when it came time for me to go to college, I was just trying to rack my brain, trying to think of stuff. My parents were always very supportive and always wanted me to pursue whatever I was really like fascinated by or interested in, and so I was very blessed with that. So I started looking around. I knew I wanted to do something with music because I was just fully in love with it at that point, and I was trying to figure out what to do, if there was some sort of degree or something that was, involved, the record production, or something like that, and lo and behold, there was. I found one. I ended up going to picking a program at Appalachian State University in Boone, North Carolina. It's up in the mountains there in western North Carolina. And spent about 4.5 years there. They've got a great, pretty small but great recording and production program up there. It's a part of their music school. Their music school is pretty popular, pretty well known. It's a really good music school. So I was real blessed up there. Had three or four different studios up there to work in. A couple attached to a recital hall and a concert hall, did all kinds of cool stuff up there. And then after that, not all the way after that, but after my junior year, technically it was my senior year. I still had a semester left of classes, but after my senior year, I knew I wanted to do something cool that summer. So I was talking to my professor, and he wanted to get me into a studio somewhere, and Asheville, North Carolina seemed to be the closest place with cool studios. So I started looking around there and found one in particular called Echo Mountain Recording Studios, which Ryan mentioned earlier. Found that place and spent about 3 or 4 months there working as an intern and assistant there, and worked. That's where I really started to realize what the recording industry and what cutting records was all about. So
tell the folks at home, what is being an intern at a recording studio like? What is it?
Well, it's not pretty. So it's
a lot like being a janitor.
Yeah, it is. It's very similar to being a janitor. You basically are the janitor, and among other things,
Sounds like a great learning
You're basically
experience.
the janitor, the personal assistant, and the mailman, and the errand boy, you know what I mean?
So all music related things.
Yeah, 100%.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Just really get you right into the heart of it.
Everything you
Yeah.
went to school for.
Yeah, everything you went to school for. Absolutely. No, that's the reality of the situation, though. You're 100% right. And what the funny thing is, though, is regardless of that, it's it's kind of like it's almost like a hazing kind of thing.
Yeah, bro,
it's like a rite of passage, you know what I mean, kind of thing. Where everybody, that's just where everybody starts, and then, but that being said, your return, that's an investment you're making there, and your return is that you get to spend time with these crazy talented bands that come in the studio and crazy talented engineers that come in the studio and see what they do, and then you're like, holy crap. Then your mind gets blown because you're like, well, they didn't show me this at school, you know what I mean? And then that's when you start to take shit to the next level and start to realize what this is all about. I
feel like internships make what it is makes more sense if you hadn't gone to school. Like,
truth.
I'll say it in this way.
Just to be around
like if
something
you
that
had
no
a
other way of
young
learning.
kid, right? If you have a young kid who's interested in getting the business, I see why what you do next with them is like, okay, you don't know anything. Come here, help out around the studio. We'll let you be a part
Like
of
an
things. It's kind of
apprenticeship.
it's a good trade-off.
Old school blacksmith apprentice.
And so, yeah, exactly. So we've kept that. Except it's a little lame when you've gone through a bunch of education and like you have learned a bunch of things to like then the next thing you do is. It does feel more like a hazing than an apprenticeship the way it works today. But anyway, that old model is kind of
dying.
It only works for
good reason, I would say.
Yeah.
It's kind of just slavery.
It's a
free labor.
It's great when you're in school or before school. It's good for a short period of time. But it is a thing that like if you got stuck in it, I feel like it's stupid. If you stuck around for years.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There has to come a point where.
But for you, it's actually worked out because it's supposed to work is you're supposed to be an intern, show them that you learn some things, but you show them that you're like worthy to be trusted, and then you work up to being an assistant engineer. Mm-hmm. And for you, that for most people today, like there's not enough assistant roles to go around, so it's no longer like it's not even close to a guarantee. It's like become an intern. They probably don't need a new assistant for several years, so it probably won't work for you.
Right.
But in your case, it worked out, so now you're an assistant.
You were there at the right time, it sounds like.
Yeah, not at Echo Mountain, though. I want to be clear on that. I was never an assistant at Echo Mountain. I'm a staff engineer out at Castle Recording Studios here in Franklin now.
Yeah, tell us about
that. Is
that.
Why you moved here? Did you move here because you got a job?
No.
Or you were already moving here?
No. So, all right. So I guess I'll continue on. So we've surpassed where I got into in my history. So
we now return to our former schedule of programming.
So
Chris Resovsky story.
So spent that time there, and then like I said, I still had a semester of school left to go there, and that was a really interesting semester of school for me because all I really had to do was finish some like kind of like gen ed kind of classes and stuff, and I had the opportunity to retake my advanced recording class that I had already taken because my professor, he knew I was going to be there, and he was like, look, man, you can retake this class so that you can have access to the studios, and you just basically, it's you to do with whatever you want for this last semester. You're going to be here at school. And I was like, dude, bet I am in. Like, count me in. Because I had just spent like 4 months at this ridiculously sick studio.
Where they didn't let you touch anything.
Yeah. Well, no, they did though.
Okay.
A little bit, you know what I mean? But like but coming from there, I had seen how things were really supposed to be done. And so like I had this whole new perspective on things. And so coming from there, I did a project with a friend of mine. His name's Cam Hass. Not exactly sure where he is now, to be honest, but I think he's in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Sure.
But either way, we were still up in college in Boone at the time, and we did a project together. I think we cut 5 songs together. It was kind of like a big, last project for me, and just he was a good friend, so I knew he was a talented guy, so I wanted to do a record for him, and so we kind of did this project together, and it was like. I listen back on it now, and it's like, oh, that was cute. You thought you could, record a record. Yeah, exactly. But like, but the fact that I had even gotten there from where I was at prior to getting myself immersed in like real studio atmosphere was like worlds different. It was crazy. So that semester, that's kind of when I realized I was like, man. There's so much of this that I have to learn, and like I love this stuff, because the more and more I find out, the more and more I realize I have to learn, and the cooler and cooler it gets. So I was like, sweet. Well, now where do I go? Because I knew Asheville, North Carolina. There's like one studio there, Echo Mountain. I was like, been there, like you said before, I knew there wasn't a position there open for an assistant or anything like that. So,
so you got to figure out where to go.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so where do I go? I was very fortunate in the fact that I had friends here who had graduated like the semester before me or something, and had came out here and had been interning at studios and getting jobs doing like live sound work and stuff like that, which I did a bunch of when I was in college as well. So I was like, okay, but really, like in my heart, I kind of like wanted to move out west. Since I was a kid, I'd been out there, went to Disneyland, you know what I mean, all the kind of stuff you do when you're a kid, I guess, with your family and stuff, traveling out there. So since I was a kid, I always had this idea. I was like, I'm gonna move out west, and so like I thought this was the time to do it, like I'm gonna go to LA and get in the studio there and start cutting metal records and all the things that all the crazy ideas I had when I was a kid, so I tried that really hard. I tried to get into, just wanted to get an internship out there or something, get my foot in the door somewhere. And it was really hard. The only people that would give me time of day was mostly like post houses and stuff like that, because they have a crap ton of work out there.
What's a post house?
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
So post house is something that does post-production audio for like film and video games or something like that, or TV shows, all that kind of stuff. It can be Foley, like it's really cool stuff if you have the mind for that. My mind is for creating records. That's where I like to go in the audio world, so that was my path. But anyway, so I didn't really want to get into a post house because I knew if I started doing that, I was going to get sucked into it, and I knew that wasn't really where my heart was. So, and all the recording studios out there, the place they either just would not get back to me, or if I did get to talk to somebody, once they found out that I didn't already live in LA or close to. That I would have to fly out there for an interview and all that. They were like, nah, we're good.
Didn't even want to bother.
They didn't even want to bother. And so it was very frustrating. It was a frustrating, like, I tried for a couple months, to go out there and get into a spot out there. Because obviously I didn't want to just move out there and go from there. But anyways, maybe it was a mistake, maybe not. Who knows? Who's to know?
But you're here now.
Destiny will decide that. Yeah, I'd say probably not, honestly. But anyways, so like I said, I already had friends in town here that were loving Nashville, and were like, dude, like music is going crazy right now. And they knew I wasn't huge into like country music, so to speak, and they're like, look, man, like
you are sitting in Waylon Jennings' basement right now. I don't know if you're allowed to say that.
Waylon Jennings is like outlaw country. You know what I mean? Like that's like
it's all under the umbrella of country.
Truth.
Right?
Okay, well, I guess I mean like pop country. You know what I mean?
He's out of the umbrella. To be fair, the reason this studio exists is because he was pissed off at all the country establishment and got pissed at them, and he's like, I'll make my own place.
That's freaking rock and roll right there. That's what that is.
It's true.
So
that's why they're called outlaw country, because it's like, fuck you guys and your system, making my own
part
system.
Of your system.
Exactly.
Hi, Kernsky23, by the way. Thanks for saying hi. What's up in the chat?
What's up? Yeah, so I don't even remember where I was now, but
if you all
so
have
I had
any
friends
questions
in
for Chris or us in general,
pipe up,
please type those
know.
questions.
Let me snow. Anyway, or let it snow, right?
Sure.
It's almost,
let it snow.
Let it snow.
Yeah, it's Christmas time.
I'm not talking about cocaine. Well, kind of, but...
When the fuck did we get cocaine?
If anybody's got cocaine, let me know. No, but anyway, so... so I had friends out in Nashville, and they were like, dude, I know it wasn't your first choice and blah, 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 but man, just come out here. You got a couch to crash on, and just take a week or whatever, however much time you need. Come hang out, we'll show you around. And I'd already been out here a couple times, but, they were like, we'll show you around and, just start talking to people. We'll put in words for you wherever if you need anything, just come out here and see what happens, dude. And I was like, dude, I got a place to stay. I got a car to get there. Why the heck not, right? So drove out here, spent like one morning basically just like sending out resumes, and to different studios. And within, it was like the complete opposite experience of what happened to me when I was trying, like the entire 2 months previous that I had been trying to move out to LA. It was like the complete opposite experience where within an hour I had like people email me back and phone calls and all this saying, hey, when do you want to come in for an interview, or, do you want to do a Skype interview, or, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, damn, dude, like, all right, let me maybe go interview at some places and figure out what's up here. So interviewed at a few different places, and one of which was Castle Recording Studios in Franklin. And
seemed like that one worked out.
Yeah. It seems like it has so far. Anyways, but it seemed really cool, man. The vibe I got from that place, it was a great vibe. The staff there was just cool. It was they were just good. I could tell they were good people, and it was a really tight-knit crew. I could tell it was just just a couple people running the studio, but it was this awesome commercial place, and the vibe was incredible. And it was something about this place was just different than all the other like Nashville studios, so something about
yeah, but that's what happens when Bryson B, thanks for the subscription.
Hell yeah,
do appreciate it.
Your 10 billion copies of your head just flew across the screen.
That's just my channel's personal emote, which Bryson can now use because he subscribed.
Wow, Bryson, just pepper us with
my own face,
Jerry's face, throughout.
Can I get some more of your face here, Jerry?
Okay, so how long you been here?
I've been in Nashville about it'll be 4 years in this coming March. Yay, the faces are back.
Okay, 4 years. That's a good long time.
4 years in March, this coming March.
So 3.5 years.
Yeah. Well,
just to correct you for no reason.
No, it's
not even technically
like
true. 3.75.
Yeah.
Jerry does math for a living.
Oh, shit. Damn it.
So
why'd you bring this guy?
Yeah. So what's kind of odd is, so I work at Belmont University.
Oh.
I do financial aid there. So I see people coming in all the time specifically trying to get into music.
Yeah, I'm sure. Belmont's crazy big music school.
And almost everyone I meet with, and I sit down with them, and I start talking to them, and I almost just want to be like, yeah, you're not going to graduate. Like, I can tell right away, like, you're going to be here for one semester. Like, everyone comes there and they think they're, like, the next big thing. Every student I meet in music, they just think, like, they're awesome.
I mean, I'm not going to lie.
Were you that guy?
No. Am I allowed to kind of...
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, yeah, like, Belmont students are kind of known for being that way. You know
assholes?
what I mean? Well, I mean, man, just pretentious, and full of themselves a little bit, and or entitled.
Yeah. Now, I've met some great students, but for the...
Not saying, I've made friends with some great Belmont students.
I'm with you. A majority of them are assholes.
Touche. Touche.
Every once in a while, my boss asks me, he's like, hey, where do I watch your show? And I'm always like... Ooh, I could have said a lot of shit about Belmont in these episodes.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't. Yeah.
What show?
I think Belmont's it's a mixed thing, but like I don't know, a lot of people that you meet that are really good did go through Belmont.
No, they do a lot. There's a lot of good as well.
Brad Paisley shit.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Florida,
he's like the
Georgia
most
line.
talented person to ever come out of Belmont, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Florida, Georgia
FGL, but nobody cares about FGL.
I think a lot of people.
Nashville's just it's like Belmont's a great program, and a ton of great people go through it. It's just in Nashville, like most of them then go try to work in Nashville, so we're saturated with Belmont.
Well, it's
people.
an interesting
So
thing
like,
too. Maybe I don't know. I don't know how deep I should go with this. But like
Go
a lot of
deep as
people,
you want.
a lot of people that go to Belmont,
Have another beer. You're having too many inhibitions.
a lot of people that go to Belmont also already come from a lot of money.
Oh my God.
You know what I
yes.
mean? So like,
I look at a lot of people because I
let's
see all
be
the financial
honest,
information.
don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on T Swift, but her dad owns the fucking Swift trucking company. You know what I mean?
I didn't know.
I didn't know you owned a trucking company. I've
Yeah.
probably seen those on the
she
road and
comes
just didn't
from
think
like
about
a
it.
lot of money. You know what I mean?
Right.
He paid her way to make her famous. You know,
Right.
he paid all the right people.
Right, and obviously you need some talent as well.
Not saying she's not
Yeah.
talented. I'm not hating
We
on
all
T
love
Swift.
Taylor Swift.
But
Oh yeah, well I heard like Sam
it's
Smith.
just a reality of a situation.
I heard Sam Smith comes from money, and his mom or whatever
Bankrolled him?
paid like $2 million to launch
God.
his career.
Holy crap!
That's
gosh.
insanity.
That's what it took. And if you think about it, it really does take that kind of money to launch. Anybody who wants to be big on the like national or international level, it does just cost millions of
It
dollars.
does. It totally does.
No one just gets like organically major around the world.
No. Gotta have serious financial backing somewhere.
Have you seen the movie Mean Girls?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was in
You
a
ever-
movie with the star of not the star of Mean Girls.
Like the star.
But the
Lindsay
boy
Lohan?
toy. No, Lindsay Lohan's crush in that movie. What's his name? Aaron.
Aw.
So last
It's been
girls
like
know.
15
Well, nobody
years.
cares about that. Lindsay Lohan.
Dude,
now, that
girls
would be-
do. I tell you, every girl I asked, like, do you ever see Mean Girls? Like, of course, yes. And I'm like, do you
That's
know
my claim to
Lindsay
fame.
Lohan's
Oh my
crush?
God.
Yes. Aaron, and they know his last name. They're like, oh my God, it was a Wednesday and he talked to me. Anyway, I was in a movie
Yeah.
with him. Just saying.
Do you ever get a vibe that
Were you really? What movie was this?
It,
it never came out?
it never came
We
out.
were a
It
band.
got made. It
It was
just,
Okay.
a song. It was a whole song
Our
within the
band-
movie, and then they needed people to act and something.
yeah. So I was just played myself as the drummer.
Yeah.
I've never even seen it. It didn't.
Okay.
It didn't get released. It was like it was like independently made,
It was
and
real
then they
bad,
tried
though.
to sell it.
real bad.
It gotta be real
Dude,
bad.
real
the clips I've seen in the trailer looked like shit,
Oh my god!
but it's still they
That's
paid like
great.
hundreds of thousands of dollars,
Dude, yeah,
like
dude,
making
films
it.
are expensive, man. Holy crap!
I feel
people
like
think
I could
records are
legit do
expensive,
a
like-
better job of that movie.
With this webcam in about 3 days.
Not that webcam with my Canon 5D Mark II.
But well, I
But-
was thinking, do you
yeah.
ever get the vibe that like Taylor Swift is like a mean girl?
Oh yeah,
From the
like
movie?
like what's her name?
I don't know. their
The
names.
mean one.
The mean one, the blonde one.
I
The
just
super
whenever I see I get that
blonde
vibe,
one.
Yeah.
I'm like,
What
I bet
is
you
her
she's
name?
kind of mean.
If girls in the chat, if you know the name of the main mean girl in Mean Girls,
mean,
please put her
I
name
have
in.
Goigle, but I'd rather somebody
Goigle.
tell me.
Yeah,
I've never
there's
heard of
8 of you watching. One of you, I know one of you is female. Karinsky 23, my wife. You can do this.
Oh, dude, your wife's watching. We should
Yeah.
probably behave. Just kidding.
No.
No, she's way worse than all of us.
She's my sister, so it's fun.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Oh yeah, that's right, brother-in-law. Duh.
That's how that works.
We have to explain it every episode. It's not just you.
Touche. It's cool.
I like that you called it goigle.
Yeah.
That goes a lot along with this old joke I made 10
Ooh,
years
you got
ago.
a joke for it too? Let's hear it.
Well, I started calling it Juggle. And I realized like
See,
Jiggle.
Goigle is like
it sounds
Goigle is Juggle.
sounds Jewish. I was thinking Juggle. Juggle is a Jewish search engine. When you
Are you
enter
the
your
one who says GIF instead of GIF?
No.
Like a psychopath?
GIF.
Okay.
Juggle, you search. It's like a deal hunting website. And
God.
when
Oh,
you
God.
if you find
course it
a
is.
if
Of
you
course it
find a good deal, it goes Mazel Tov. It's like eBay, kind of eBay, and if you don't win, it goes Oy vey. Anyway, that's Juggle. I thought it could be a big deal. I moved out to Silicon Valley and everything.
they didn't go
Nobody
for
liked
it.
it for some
A
reason.
lot of
Damn.
anti-Semitism in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
We're down for my Jewish specific
That's
search engine.
That's fucked up, bro.
I know. I'm trying to be
gone far.
multicultural over here.
Now that it's out on the internet, the idea, someone will pick it up.
Yeah.
And make it the next big thing.
That pissed me off.
I know, right?
Like a couple years
That's
down the
why
road.
I'm not saying anything over here,
Yeah.
dude. I
Yeah.
got crazy ideas, crazy app ideas, but you ain't gonna hear me talk about it on this bitch.
Juggle.
No way.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Juggle,
Yeah.
I've noticed you're wearing a Jimmy Eat World shirt.
Oh yeah.
Jew.
Yeah. Is that why he's involved here? Did you know he was a Jimmy Eat World fan?
Yeah, kind of after the fact. But
that was
yeah,
the whole reason.
that's why you're here.
Yeah.
Well, you should have no illusions about that. Just know you're here for the show.
Trust me, I realized that
Ironically,
after
the guy
I walked
who,
in here one day and he's playing fucking "Hear You Me" on the acoustic guitar.
and
I'm like, oh god.
And I have my big casino poster in the bathroom, which, by the way,
With
I
all your
have
Backstage
Big
Passes
Casino
and
CD
stuff.
number like 274, which at the time I went to the CD release show. At the CD
nice.
release show, when I got number 274, it didn't sound like that high of a number. I was like 274, like not very good. But for a record that's like it's past gold, like
Yeah.
it's probably
Sold
almost
millions and millions
platinum
of
at this
copies.
point. To have number 274 is like that's kind of cool.
That's pretty cool. So how
I
many
guess
times have you
that's
seen
what
him
it's like
live,
to be
though?
old.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
Twice.
Twice? That's embarrassing.
Did we see him at the same two shows?
Probably. Yeah, we did.
The Ryman
Yeah.
and Live on the Green.
Live on the Green,
Which
yeah.
you were at.
Yeah, I went to Live on the Green.
Oh, that was a crap.
Live on the Green was one of the lamest Jimmy World shows
Yeah,
I've
it was
ever
pretty
seen.
lame. I kind of knew it was gonna be, kind of, because it's fucking Live on the Green. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
but that being said, like, I mean, some artists like Young the Giant put on a killer show there.
Oh yeah, if there's some like
The
hit
Band of Horses
that
show that came.
random
what-
young people would know, then
Yeah, a
Well,
guy
Band
I
of
work
Horses
with.
put on a killer show there.
Really?
Yeah, that was not
Local
this past
natives,
year, but
too.
the year before.
Yeah,
I went the year local Nashville discovered local natives. Like I already knew local natives, and then I went to that show, and everyone's like, "Wow, local natives are cool now."
They're a Cali band, aren't they? Or are they?
I don't know.
Okay.
I actually have no
Pretty
clue.
sure I don't know. I don't either.
They would not be local then, or native. But
I think we should like capture what he just did and make it like one of those sound effects you pulled like radio show. Go and capture that later.
but no, a buddy of mine went to the Live on the Green show I work with, and he's a few years young. How old are you?
27.
Okay, so he's
Damn
a
it!
couple
I
years
just said that
younger.
on record too. Shit.
He's 20. I think he just turned 25. And I told him I was going to go see it. And when I got back to work the next day, he's like, "Oh, I actually saw you at the show." I was like, "You went to go see Jimmy Eat World?" I'm like, "You don't know who they are." and he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I know that one song though."
Oh God.
And I was
Which
like,
song was it?
The middle, of course, is the
Oh,
middle,
man, of
right?
course.
So I feel like the whole audience was people who really dug the middle. You know, that's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah. Well, wasn't that their encore song or something? Wasn't that?
I will say the encore was good.
Yeah, the
I got
encore-
into a pit.
But they only did one.
No, they did like two or three.
They did 2 or
No,
3. I
did
think.
they?
I think so.
Normally they do the middle and then sweetness.
They did.
They did.
I feel like
yeah.
they didn't do that.
No, they did sweetness then the middle. It's
Oh,
not.
maybe that's why I was confused.
It. I got into a pit for sweetness, and then the middle I crowd surfed.
Yeah. He always
my-
every show he crowd
It's my
surfs.
1-2 punch.
The first time I ever crowd surfed was fairly recently at a Rise Against show.
How was
I
it?
like Rise Against. They're
Amazing.
awesome.
Yeah,
Right?
it was an amazing show. Oh my God. AFI opened for him.
No, I mean how was crowd surfing?
Oh, how was crowd surfing?
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Not
fun,
gonna lie.
right?
It was super fun. Oh my God.
But yeah, that's cool. I've seen him
I will say
10
I don't think
times,
the
I think now. I think I just hit double digits.
Live on the Green.
Yeah. I
What
think
it
he's
wasn't
might
a
have hit
bad
triple
show
digits.
because of them.
Yeah, for real. Jeez.
It was a bad show because the people, like they were doing their
Yeah.
normal thing, but you're like, I'm just watching the crowd, and the crowd's like just kind of whatever about it.
Yeah,
And
and
that's
there were
what
some
pissed
people
me
who were
off.
into it, but like
Yeah.
they didn't come to see Jimmy Eat World
Well,
necessarily.
plus
Right.
too, like, I mean, for you and me, like, we had just seen him at the Ryman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
The Ryman was a great show.
that was a killer show.
That being said,
You're
the
not
one
going to top that
downside-
in some crappy outdoor field.
some
you know what
free
I mean?
park
Oh,
concert.
Yeah, some free festival, you know?
I've seen them outside a few times. I've been, no, it was totally topped outside. So I've been to a similar to Live on the Green show, but in Phoenix, where they're from.
Is that the one that
The one we went to.
Yeah, they were good.
That show
Great
was
show.
amazing.
That was
perfect.
That was the show that made me be like, maybe I'm too old to be this close to the front nowadays.
Infinitely cooler.
Get like
than-
knocked around. I'm like, this is some, I used to love getting knocked around. Like this is when you hit. And I was like, I'm so old. And my shoe came off. I was like, no, I'm so tired. And then Brand New was after them. And
Oh,
so,
wow.
and I was just like, I just want to go sit down. Like I felt so
Man,
old.
I'm old.
I was 20. I think I was 28. Maybe like 2-3 years
The
ago.
Ryman was really cool and neat. But as far as Jimmy Eat World shows go, the big downside is that it doesn't have a front. So there's no place for a pit. There's no place for crowd surfing. There's no place to rock out.
Yeah, no, you're
the
true.
show we saw them in
Right.
at Phoenix, like outdoor, like it was the correct kind of punk rock atmosphere.
Yeah. Right,
where
yeah,
the
yeah.
instant they started playing, somehow the whole crowd compresses like 30.
Yeah.
No,
How
like
does that
50
even
feet
happen?
forward.
Can we talk about that? Like, how
the
is-
physics of that work?
yeah, what is the science behind this? Like, how does everybody suddenly get smaller the instant the band starts playing? I don't understand. It's like all of a sudden 300-pound people go to like 150. Like, boom,
It's
drop
all.
of a
It's
hat.
all. What it is all the white girls who weigh like $1.15 just disappear.
Yeah.
They just get absorbed into them.
Yeah, they just get stuck.
They're just gone. Never to be seen again.
Yeah, goodbye.
That was my favorite part of like punk rock shows or anything like punk oriented is all of a sudden when the whole crowd pushes in and you get to that place where like, especially when we were young, but you're just like everybody's like becomes one body essentially. There's zero space between humans.
Yeah.
And you're like all moving and rocking out and like you're not in control of yourself. It's like being in the
don't have a
ocean.
choice.
Dude,
It's
you know
literally
what's
like the
funny?
ocean. You're like,
Yeah, like,
"Whoa."
well, the funny thing is so I was just telling you about how I went crowd surfing at Rise Against. Literally, the whole reason I did it in the first place was so that I could get the heck out of this spot that I was in. I was like, the only way out of here is straight the fuck up. I was like, dude, shit. Because like it was like you, like I was getting fucking like smashed around and stuff. And I was like, oh my god. And I took it for so long, you know. I had beer all over me by this point, you know. And oh man,
I just want to sit
I
down.
smelled so bad, and I was just getting like stomped on. I was like, God, and I like couldn't go backwards, couldn't move anywhere. So I was like, crap, you, pick me up, just put me over there.
Now, how do you feel about mosh pits?
I love them. I mean,
Yeah.
they're
I'm
tons
for
of fun.
mosh pits are great.
I'm all about them.
So the friendliest mosh pits are Jimmy Eat World mosh pits.
Yeah, it's a friendly pit.
You were there when one time I helped him crowd surf because he does every time.
Some mosh pits aren't friendly. Those aren't
No.
necessarily fun.
It's
It's just people that are angry.
but
No, I'm for a friendly pit.
Yeah.
I boosted him up to crowd surf, and on his way up, he kicked me in the face. which knocked my glasses clean off. My glasses flew into the crowd.
Oh no.
I don't remember this.
This was in
no.
Tempe, I think, or in Tucson, I think, when we saw him in Tucson.
Okay.
And my
We
glasses.
have a whole. There's
we have
a map.
there's a lot. Flew straight off my face, and to which I was like, "Oh shit," because I'm blind as fuck.
Oh shit! I can't see now.
It is like a Velma moment.
And so I start like trying to look around, and you know what happens? The most magical thing. The audience makes a fucking circle, like empty circle, like 3 people help me and they find him in a couple seconds, give him back.
Dude.
I was like, what kind of mosh pit are we
Isn't
in
that the
middle of?
coolest shit
Yeah,
ever?
Yeah.
Dude, funny story, kind of similar to that, but like not necessarily mosh related. So I was at this music festival in Rothbury, Michigan called Electric Forest in 2013. And we were I forget who we had just seen, but it was this crazy EDM festival. And I had just gotten literally like the day before I left to go to this festival with my buddies. I had just gotten a brand new iPhone and I got it in this like bulletproof case. You know, it was like the most hardcore
3
case
inches
you
of
could
steel.
get. Yeah, like you can take it fucking scuba diving. You know what I mean? Kind of case. And
Scuba
sure
diving
enough,
on the moon.
yeah, right, exactly. And so it was like, I don't know, it was either the first or second. It had to be the second night because shit was getting crazy. And somehow during one of the shows, during like the second to last show or something, I walked out of the crazy madness of the 6th row or whatever where we were, and realized I didn't have my phone. I was like, oh my
no.
God, you've got to be kidding
Worst
me. I was
feeling,
like, yeah,
gut
it was
sinks.
what was the worst thing? I was like, I just got this freaking phone. You got to be kidding me. And so, you know, all my buddies, they pull out their phones with flashlights and shit. We're all looking all over the ground, and we're like, you know, there's drugs everywhere, but not a single cell phone. You know what I mean? And so we're just picking up drugs and like still looking for my cell phone. And so, anyways, we're just like looking all over, and we're like, I'm just like so just distraught. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me right now. And then all of a sudden, like, we hear, hey, you guys looking for a phone? And we look over, and there's this like little Asian guy with like a bunch of friends and shit. And we're like, yeah. And they're like, he was like, well, what does it look like? And I was like,
An iPhone.
yeah, I was like,
Like everyone
well,
else's
it's an
phone.
iPhone that's in like this crazy case that like latches shut and shit. And he was like, it's like gray and green. I was like, yeah. And he just like pulls it out of his backpack. And I was like, no way, dude.
That's
you
awesome.
gotta be kidding
Dude, the
me.
chances are so low. That's
Like,
crazy.
yeah, there was no chance in
Dope.
Hades that would have worked out.
Especially with the
anywhere
Asian
else.
guy. He was probably like halfway to having that crap
Hacked and-
unlocked. And, yeah.
I know, he's probably like,
That's
God
twice now
damn
you've
it.
been racist this episode. First Jiggle, but I want you to talk
know.
about the Asians.
I suppose
for the record-
Jugo's kind of my fault because I said goigle.
For the record, all of my racial stereotypes are positive racial stereotypes.
Sure, like he's so smart.
Jews are good at getting deals. Asian people are so smart, they're great at technology.
They can hack all the
I
phones.
don't have any negative racial stereotypes, only positive ones.
Are you sure?
I'm a positive racist.
Should we delve into this more and figure it out?
No.
No, I don't think we should do that.
Oh man, I did see. I went and saw. Do you like Coheed and Cambria?
I do, yeah.
That's good. I saw them play. I saw them open. It was Trivium, Coheed, both opening for Slipknot
Oh, wow. Where was this?
in San Diego,
Nice.
and 'cause that's where I'm from. And I was not in that mosh pit. I was in the seats. It was in a stadium, but I was pretty close to the front of the seats, so I could see what was happening, and everything was fine until the mosh pit for Slipknot started.
Yeah.
Then it was like all the demons like rose
Yeah.
from hell to kick
Yeah.
the shit out of each
Just
other.
like kick each
It was
other in the
insane.
face.
It was just like, that doesn't look fun. I'm glad I'm
Yeah.
not there. It was
That's what I'm
nightmare.
saying. Some mosh pits are just like, just too brutal. It's like, why do you even want to jump in there and just get hit in the face a bunch of times?
Right? Yeah, not
I
super
like
into
I like
it.
the ones where everybody's shoving each other around. It's like shoving buddies, you know. Everybody's like, yeah, no, but like no, but like obviously more violent than that, but
You got to make sure that the level of violence
not
is
like
up to the
where
manly
everybody
code.
like pulls out a knife and starts like slashing each other, you know. That's
sounds
like,
about right.
That's Slipknot.
That's
mosh
Slipknot,
pit.
yeah.
Yeah, that's Slipknot.
It's
mosh
real
pit.
gnarly.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Some
No, I
guys have
wasn't a huge-
machetes and they're just
yeah.
like, fuck.
Just taking off limbs. I'm not a huge Slipknot fan or anything. I enjoy Slipknot,
Yeah, I never got into this Slipknot craze necessarily.
but that was just too much. I couldn't even.
Yeah.
I just didn't have any frame of reference for that
Yeah.
level of violence.
Yeah.
Like, it's just is a riot happening?
What is happening right now?
But well, that's cool. But anyways, to kind of get back, you moved here,
I did, yeah.
started working
back to the
at
history.
Castle
So
Studio, Castle Rock. Castle Rock. That's a TV show.
Castle Rock. What
It's a
is
good
Is that a
show.
TV show? Okay, I never.
it a TV show? Okay, I know that. Isn't that a film company as well? Castle Rock. Or
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen like the
Totally
thing
is.
before.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
some shit.
Anyways, yeah. So Castle Recording Studios.
Y'all are still on beer number 1?
I just cracked number
Yeah, it's
2.
weird for me, right?
Oh, you're on number 2.
I just
Okay.
cracked number
You open
2.
me a
yeah.
second one. This is about empty.
Yep.
What is this? What is this other beer we have? Leinenkugels?
Leinenkugel.
Leinenkugel.
That's a Milwaukee brew.
I don't think I've ever had.
Leinenkugel is good people's. It's good stuff.
Cool. That's like that one. But you're working there now. So are you? So you don't play live. You only do behind the scenes. You said you don't like playing.
Yeah, I don't play.
Did you
live.
used to play live? Did you sing? Play guitar?
So
Play the clarinet?
nope, no clarinet, no guitar. I never played a melodic instrument. I was a drummer.
Theremin. You look like a theremin kind of guy.
I did used to mess around with theremin
I
a fair
knew it.
bit. Oh man, theremins are great. You ever get a chance to go to the dude Ryan? Have you been to Asheville, North Carolina?
Yeah, but just driving through.
Okay, I
like
didn't know.
tour on a
Alright,
tour. Like
I
we
gotcha.
stopped for lunch there.
Well, you know Moog synthesizers, right? Analog
Yeah.
synthesizers. So like their headquarters is in Asheville, and that's where they make all their synths.
oh, I will
I've
say,
spent a fair amount of time in that place. It's
I did
pretty
stop
amazing.
through. I did stay in Asheville one night. I do a lot of road trips and a lot of like weekend trips, day trips, stuff like that. And one time I I wanted to stay in Asheville and then just kind of like drive around the Smokies the next day. And so looking for, it's like spur of the moment. I'm like, I just need to get away. So I did. And Asheville, it turns out, is like kind of expensive to find a place to stay. So
no, man, I've stayed in a motel there once that was like really cheap.
Yeah, well, so have I, and that's what this story is.
Hey, all right, good deal.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to it.
So
Then
the okay places were a bit more expensive. It's like, cause I'm like Asheville, North Carolina, or whatever. But it's like people go there to like, I'm gonna go to the Biltmore.
Yeah, like rich people go there to
vacate.
vacay for like a weekend and shit.
Why are they
yeah.
British?
Yeah,
Asheville's beautiful, man. It's a gorgeous place to go.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, but you know what? The Motel 6 isn't.
Damn straight.
So I went to the Motel 6 there.
Nice.
And it's the only hotel or motel I have ever checked into and then said no and left. And
No.
got a
Hold on. Because we stayed at Route 66 Motel.
Yeah.
It
Worse.
could not have been worse than that. It could not have.
It was.
There was literally holes in the wall, the tiles, there was a crack in the bathtub. The
Route
floors
66 is in New
there
Mexico.
There were burn marks all over the carpet.
Oh, yeah.
Like someone lit fires.
It
and
was
put
like
them out
gross
all over
old
the place.
carpet that
okay.
you just know has diseases.
I was pretty sure like we
Weird
might have
old
contracted
art.
something we don't know about.
You ever
Yeah.
seen Supernatural?
No,
show?
I have not.
You
actually.
should get into it.
It
It's
looks like
great.
a hotel
Okay.
from that show. It looked like
It was the most
it
garbage
hasn't
place.
been renovated in 45 years.
or cleaned in 45
Dear
years.
Lord.
It's like a late 60s
And
style.
we stayed there. We stuck it out. Also, we've been driving all day. It's when we were moving to Nashville.
Yeah.
So it was on the trip.
Now here's what was
How could that have been
different
worse?
than Motel 6. The Motel 6 in Asheville had blood stains
Ooh.
all over the place. Like on the
Murder
walls
scene?
and in the shower and all over
That is
the
worse
place.
than burn stains. I'll give you
Damn.
that.
Now, it's possible there were very large bugs that somebody smushed all the blood out of and then didn't clean that up. But in either case, let's just say when I was by myself,
Probably more likely someone was murdered.
that's how it. It just felt, there were blood splatters.
Did you wipe your
everywhere.
fingerprints off of everything, or are you currently wanted for murder?
Yeah,
Like, those are the
probably
options.
currently wanted. And
Should
I just
I
don't know
leave?
it yet. Yeah.
You're an accomplice now.
Yeah.
You're in this shit.
All right, well, in that case, I'm staying. I want to see how this shit plays out. I'm in.
So I literally, I've stayed in the most ghetto places in New Mexico that are like $28 a night.
I couldn't even
I've stayed in
imagine
a lot of
somewhere
ghetto
worse
ass
than Route
places.
66.
Congratulations,
Route
you
66
now
is
have
a
AIDS.
second best, but yeah, the blood just freaked me out too much. I couldn't do it, so I left, and then I think I like found a Super 8 like in Black Mountain. Is that a thing out there?
Yeah, Black Mountain's pretty
Yeah,
close. That's where
and that
Pisgah
was
Brewing is.
Still affordable is a little bit more, but you know, after you try to stay in a place with blood stains, you're okay with
Yeah, you
spending
avoid
a
the
little
blood
more.
stains. You, know. you see one thing and then you decide, all right, maybe it's worth a little
Yeah.
sacrifice.
You lose
Not a
price
blood
sensitivity at that
Yeah.
point.
Man, that's
I stayed at this one place in Asheville one time. I was still in college. We were going to a big gigantic show. You know who they are? They're like like EDM.
They sound massive.
Yeah,
they
do.
They are pretty massive. They sound
Like,
massive.
actually, no one really knows them yet. They're kind of underground.
Yeah.
Very small crowds.
Actually,
Weirdly enough, they're all dwarfs.
yeah. Actually, all midgets. It's pretty good.
Welcome to Big
God damn it, there's your racism coming back.
No,
That's not
appropriate.
racist.
They're not a race.
That's
What
not,
are they?
That's not racist.
What are
are
they?
they?
What are they, Ryan? Oh my god. First the Jews.
Oh my god.
Again, I have only positive stereotypes.
That sound positive to you?
I don't know what that sounded
I
like.
don't
to be
really have
honest.
any stereotypes for dwarves. I'll be honest. I have no. The only dwarf I could name off the top of my head is Tyrion Lannister, and
That's
I
not
feel
even his real name.
And
I
he's the
feel very
fucking-
positive towards
Yeah,
him.
that's not even his real name.
Yeah, it's Peter Dinklage.
Yeah,
You
get it
uncultured
right.
fuck.
It sounded just like something he would say.
you uncultured.
Anyway, should we listen to a song?
Peter Dinklage
yeah.
like,
Yeah, we should play a song.
fucking hate you guys.
All right, Chris, time to
He would
prove
love
to the-
this show.
Oh no.
time to prove to the people that you're worth anything. Just kidding.
So normally we have we play a few songs. We have you play a few songs, but you don't play songs. You create songs.
Correct.
And so we have a playlist of stuff that you have engineered, mixed, produced. I don't know what the words are.
Yeah. Engineered. Some is engineered. Some is assistant engineered. So yeah.
What should we play first?
What should we play? We got a whole playlist of things.
We can. Let's start with the top. Let's just start at the top. So first up is gonna be off of an EP that I cut for a friend of mine. His name's Patrick Boyd, and another artist named Catherine Hill. It was a duo project, all acoustic. It was a very simple, cool, low key kind of project. It was just acoustic guitar, harp, and vocals.
Harp's cool.
Yeah. It was a really cool project. So yeah, the first up is Two Sides. That's also the name of the EP.
She went to bed, so angry. Heard his hot breath, weave stories so much different than what they promised. Love and trust, but to be honest, she is so broken. Love can't rebuild on sand. Love, no, it can't rebuild on sand. He went to bed so lonely, felt her soft breath draw deeply to the dream she clung to while she slept. As he tried to take back all he said, but he can't. They're broken. Love
And we're back. All right, so that was Two Sides. If you like the song, you can go check it out. Go on Spotify. Patrick Boyd, Two Sides. It comes up. And who's the other artist? Catherine something?
Catherine Hill.
Catherine Hill. Look them up. And did you record that here in Nashville?
I did, yeah. I recorded that out at Castle Recording Studios in Franklin. Yep.
Which is where you
did.
currently are.
That is, yeah. That's where I do most of my work currently, yeah.
Okay. There's
It's actually, as far as everything goes that I'm going to show you guys this evening, that's where it was all recorded.
everything.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super cool.
Cool. So you recorded it and you mixed it,
I did.
but you didn't master it.
I did
because
not.
you are
Because
a good person.
Yeah, because I know what I'm doing and I know what my strengths are. And I know I don't have access to a real analog mastering studio.
Yeah. And it's always who'd you have master it, by the way?
That was mastered by 5 seconds. What's her name? No. Keep going.
Saxophone solo.
All right.
Not a very
It was
good
mastered
saxophone.
mastered by Amy at Yes Master Studios.
Amy at Yes Master Studios.
Yeah.
Mastering all your
I
shit.
apologize, Amy, if you hear
Want a
this.
master?
I can't.
She says
I don't know
yes.
your last name.
And she listens to every episode, so
Yeah, I know.
dedicated fan. Okay, so now because I've never worked in a studio,
How
unless you
dare
count
you?
this as working and we're in a studio. So do you? So there are you? So do you? Are you an engineer there? Are
I
you
am,
an
yeah, I'm
assistant engineer? Are you a level 3 engineer? I like. What's the thing?
There's-
Level 3.
I mean, I'm a staff engineer. That,
Sorry.
Yeah, definitely level 3. Obviously.
Do you know level 3?
Do I know
Level
Not
3?
everyone can handle level 3. Right?
Most people don't know level 3.
I'm not sure I know what y'all are referring
Would you like to
as
show him level 3?
I don't think I can.
It's hard to laugh and do level 3 at the
It's
same time.
impossible. Can you whistle and hum at the same time?
No.
Have you ever tried that?
Boom!
No.
Level 3.
That's pretty good.
It's very hard if you're laughing to hit level 3.
Yeah, no shit.
You smile, level 3 gone. Yeah, anyway.
So apparently you're only level 2.
I'm still
engineer.
working on level 4, which is where you harmonize your whistle and your hum to different notes. That's level 4. Anyway, so as an engineer, you're not quite to level 3, but tell us
Sure.
what you do.
I'm dead. Shit. So yes, so the title, I guess, would be staff engineer
Okay.
at Castle, as far as Castle Recording Studios is concerned, which means a number of different things. The majority of what I do there is the role of assistant engineer, which is setting up sessions, getting everything ready for clients, and assisting whatever engineer comes in with the band or the artist or the production or whatever's happening. So usually it's like running. Jobs include running Pro Tools, a lot, and just lots of setup, moving stuff around, and getting everything ready to go. So,
Okay.
lots of different stuff, and then, but then, one of the great things about being out there at the castle is that I also have access to all the wonderful things that place has to offer. So, I get to take advantage of it. And some of those things have been done with these projects, getting to bring in my own clients and stuff, and that would be more around the lines of like the freelance engineer work,
Okay.
Yeah.
going out and finding my own clients and bringing them into the studio, and that's ultimately what I love to do. So
So do you get free or discounted studio time then?
I'm not allowed to say.
So he pays full price and
Yep.
nobody knows anything different.
That's right.
Okay. Now, have you worked with anyone super cool who we should know about, who we've heard of?
I'm not one for dropping names, but I've worked with
Feel
a
free.
lot.
Drop all the names.
I've worked with plenty of big artists. Yes.
Yeah, so that's part of the deal. If you're a staff engineer at like a well-known commercial recording studio, is that you're going to assist for a lot of like major people.
Yeah, I mean, Brad
Yeah.
Paisley just cut some stuff out there.
I mean, I was alluding
Brett-
to the fact when you said I worked with Bandit Forces. We're going to talk about it on the show. I was trying to
yeah,
nonchalantly bring that up, and neither of you picked up on it.
that was not at Castle Recording Studio.
That was as an intern.
That was like,
Oh, gotcha.
that was on it. That's the band. I don't know. It's tough to explain, I guess. But that was the first big production that I ever really saw firsthand, and
Gotcha.
that shit blew my mind. It was amazing. They came in.
What album?
Their newest one. Why Are You Okay?
Okay, I haven't heard it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Check it out.
Okay.
It's a killer record. I love all their records. They're definitely one of my favorite. They're definitely one of my favorite bands, if not my favorite band. I might be slightly biased, but
Yeah.
Okay, but outside of that, you were saying you've seen all sorts of cool people because
I
you're in a
have,
huge
yeah.
studio.
uh-huh.
That's awesome.
So you said Brad Paisley came through. So what was your role in that?
I actually wasn't there for Brad Paisley.
Okay, was that
But
Lance?
Yeah. Lance did that.
Okay, hold on, Chris.
Yeah.
So we've heard about a Lance. There was another name you said earlier. Was it a Chad maybe?
Tanner.
Oh yeah, a Tanner.
I don't think he was mentioned on this show.
Probably not.
I feel like
No,
we
I
shouldn't.
mentioned it to
I feel
him
like we
earlier.
shouldn't talk about people that aren't here. You know.
That's all we do.
Lance is an amazing guy and a fantastic engineer, and he's also involved in this place with myself and Ryan, as Ryan mentioned earlier. And we're both.
Lance is a saint.
Lance
Yeah,
is a
everyone
really
likes
good
Lance.
dude.
Bass, right. What are we talking about?
Right, Lance Van Dyke.
Yeah, Lance Van Dyke.
Okay.
Basserson.
And he does. He's another engineer in town here, and he does. I know him very well. We both work together out of the castle and do a lot of work together. So
Okay.
Now you brought up Tanner because
I've never met Tanner,
jury
know
has
Tanner.
a bias against the name Tanner.
but people named Tanner bug me.
Oh, really? Why?
And I don't know if this Tanner can be
Because
the
it's
best Tanner.
tan and ner in one word.
It's just when you think, don't imagine this guy you know. Okay,
That's gonna be
just
impossible.
imagine.
You can't tell me to do that.
Don't do it. Just imagine Tanner. Like, who do you picture besides that guy? You picture a certain kind of character.
I mean, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I kind of feel the same way with a lot of names like that.
And you were getting mad at him for being racist. Now you got
You're
a thing
Tannerist.
against names.
He's definitely a Tannerist.
I'm
He's a
definitely.
Tannerist.
I just don't get it.
It's
Like,
Tanner,
I
Chad.
Have you know any
What, don't
famous
you get like
Tanners?
why you would name someone Tanner? Is that what you don't get?
Yeah. Do you know any famous Tanners? I don't know any famous Tanners.
There are none.
There are famous Chris's. There are famous Ryans. No famous Jerry's. It's just a fucked up name. But that's a whole nother thing.
At least he admits it.
But there's other names too. Tanner, Tristan,
Ooh.
right?
Tristan.
Bryce,
Yeah.
Cody.
There's definitely someone famous.
Cody.
There's definitely someone famous named Bryce. There's a lot of
Who?
famous Codys.
Sure.
Who?
Yeah, who? That's a good question. Name 3. Name
Cody.
1.
No.
Cody Cruz.
I don't know. Who
Cody
that is.
Smith.
Cody Johnson. Who's Cody Johnson?
Probably someone.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Chad.
Chad.
I don't know famous. I don't know who famous people are.
They're just like your typical
They're
like
frat names.
frat name guy.
It's like after they
Brad and
graduate
Chad.
college. Yeah, Brad, Chad,
Thad.
Tristan. Let's give
Tad.
Tanner a call. Go down to the bar.
Yeah.
Go downtown. Cruising for chicks. That's the kind of thing they would say.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
You know what I'm talking. You know
You
the
hear
kind
that,
of guy.
Tanner? Let's go downtown cruising for chicks.
You know the kind of guy I'm talking about. They don't wear their hats straight, you know? But it's not
They,
backwards
what,
either.
do they wear their hats gay or something?
Yes. Yes, in fact they do. So where were we here? Brad Paisley. So Brad Paisley came to the castle. You weren't involved in that. That Lance helped out with that. Who's like a larger artist that you don't want to name drop, but you'll just mention that you were an assistant engineer for? Have you assisted in any sessions like that?
Yeah. his name is well, the producer on the project is Troy Lucetta, who is the drummer for a band called Tesla, they've been together for 30 some odd years.
Oh, damn.
They're a huge rock band. They're classic rock, you know. They're right there along with Aerosmith. I've done a project with the lead guitarist and of Aerosmith, and
that's cool.
His name's Brad Whitford. He's an incredible guy. Super, obviously. I mean, Aerosmith. Come on, super.
Did he
talented.
produce or was he the artist?
He was a guitar player, and yeah, he was. It was a duo project for between the two artists were him, Brad Whitford, and Derek St. Holmes, who sang with Ted Nugent for quite a while. But anyway, so it was one of their kind of side projects, I guess. But yeah, Brad Whitford played guitar. So did Derek St. Holmes. He sang and played guitar, and then Troy Lucetta, actually, this guy I was just talking about, he played drums on that project. Like I said, he's the drummer for Tesla, and now I've actually been involved with a project with Troy. He's producing a project for a guy named John Nyman, who is the bass player for a band called Y&T, another rock band. So anyways, yeah, so kind of stuff that I'm more interested in because it's more rock heavy, you know. So it's cool stuff. But yeah, so you know, worked with the guitarist from Aerosmith, worked with a singer from Ted Nugent. I've worked with man, I'm always really, like I said, I don't name drop, so I'm really bad at it when it comes time to. But
That's right.
Yeah.
This is all random people on the internet, so.
Yeah, these
They
aren't
don't care.
Nashville people.
I mean, I could name drop country all day long, I suppose, but
Yeah.
But you don't want to. 'Cause
But
you don't
you're like,
country.
it's not your deal.
it's not my deal. So, but like,
So what is your
like
deal?
Brett Eldridge? He just cut his last record out there at the Castle. Dustin Lynch just cut a bunch of stuff out there. The Cadillac 3, Jennifer Nettles from Sugarland. Oh man, Midland just cut their last record out there. Dan Huff, who's a huge producer in
Oh,
town
yeah.
here.
He was like Taylor Swift's original, wasn't he?
Yeah, everybody who's anybody knows who Dan Huff is. He's the biggest producer in country music ever, pretty much. I
Keith
work with
Urban,
him all
maybe?
the time. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Yeah, I mean Keith Urban, Brad Pitt, any large name in country music, Dan Huff has produced at some point or another.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so, you know, Justin Niebanks, who's
cool.
like won Engineer of the Year back to back for, you know, ACM awards, CMA awards, all that kind of stuff, years and years.
And how have you liked like being involved with those people?
Well, it's incredible for me because I'm in the position where I've only been doing this, well, like you said earlier, I've been in Nashville almost 4 years. So, and that's about the extent of my professional career in the music business. So being able to be in sessions with the Justin Niebanks, the Dan Huff, you know, all these incredible artists who bring in all these ridiculous engineers and producers and stuff that have been doing this for 30, 40 plus years, you know, they know way more about it than I do and have just the crazy mind for everything, all of it, and being able to be in the room with these guys and just to see what they do and hear how they're able to achieve the sounds and records that they're able to produce, you know what I mean, is just, it's the best learning experience for me. Or I mean, I would think any, you know, a striving producer or engineer out there, you know what I mean? It's just the best opportunity for that because you're literally just getting to see how it's done firsthand. You're right freaking there, you know? And that to me, like shit, I learned more. I've been out here, I spent 4.5, almost 5 years in school. The first year I was out here, I learned more than I did, you know, there. You know, not to shit on the program or anything. It was a great program. I
No,
loved
but you just learn by doing.
Yeah.
Which most people do, right? Most people,
Yeah,
when
no, I
they
think-
actually do the thing, they learn way more.
Well, I think I'm not trying to say my career path is special necessarily, but I think it's a little unique, and I think that in order to really be good in it and at it, you have to just get out there and actually get your hands on stuff and see, and use your ears and really start to listen and hear and mess with things for yourself and see how these people are able, see how the people that are able to achieve these great things in this business have achieved such success, like being able to witness that. You walk into a Justin Niebank session or a Dan Huff session, or something like that, and you hear and see what's going on, and you're like, oh, that's why all these guys have cut multiple platinum records. You know what I mean?
Tell me more about that. Like, why?
What?
When you're saying, like, you see the session, and you're like, that's why they've made so many platinum records. What does that mean?
Well, to me, it's more about hearing it, because that's where my creativity is, in my ears. I'm not a visually creative guy. I don't paint or anything like that. I've got to hear it. So
you mean you're just hearing what they do, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
wow.
Like when you hear, well, I guess a lot of it is seeing it too, because when you're in a recording studio like that, it's something that's really tough to explain to somebody. It's one of those things, and I've talked about this with a bunch of different people, but it's like you just have to see it and experience it to understand. But when you have 5 to 10 of the most talented instrumentalists in Nashville, along with a super creative and talented artist and producer and engineer, when you get all that into one space with a shit ton of microphones and amazing analog gear, the product that you're going to get from that is retardedly spectacular, and it's impossible to relay that to somebody in words. It's one of those things where you just have to experience that and able to be able to understand it, because that's music. Obviously, I'm heavily involved with it. Music holds a special place in my soul. It's a big part of my soul, and so music came about and was created as a collaborative kind of idea and thing where you can bring these different pieces and these tones and these sounds together to collectively build and create this awesome masterpiece, right? And so, like, when you're able to witness that, all this bringing in of different pieces and parts and putting together, and then you're able to witness all of that happening and creating all in a second, all in a flash. It's just like one massive product that you're just like, holy shit, like that's a hit song now. When you're able to see that and witness that, that shit will change your whole perspective on, how you're going to go about making your way in this career, and how you're going to go about things. Like, you just realize how big of a deal this is, how big of a deal the music is, and just how much, for me, how much I have to learn, and how much you just have to be there for an experience. Like, experience is the only way you're going to get better at this. And it's the only way you're going to continue to learn more, So being able to be in there with all of that, is experience. And that's like the real experience of creation. Like, literally, they're taking something that's just an idea in somebody's head, and they're just putting all these different people with creative, amazing minds in this one place, and then boom, they're cutting a hit song. Like, that is one of the coolest things in the planet to me. That's why I do what I do. That's like, because that shit is amazing. It's really, really cool.
It's cool. Good speech. We're gonna copy that and just like send it out to like all the intro to audio students. Like when you join
No, don't
audio
do that.
school, they're gonna get that little
No,
speech.
too late, it's done.
don't do that. You should tell them that there's no jobs in this industry and that
And they should quit now
they should
and go
quit
something
now
else.
and fucking do something else.
Garbage
Dude,
man or
that
some
is the
bullshit.
advice everybody gives you when you try to go into this industry. I got
do
that. I
Well,
once,
that's the advice you get from people that are in it.
Yep.
But the people that aren't in it say, yeah, there's jobs and it's not competitive at all. And, you can you'll start making 5 or 6
believe anything is
figures
possible.
right out of college. And it's like, dude, I am starving over here. You know what I mean? It's like, don't get me wrong, I'm doing what I love, but at the same time, like, it's tough,
Do you have like another job to supplement?
I don't.
So you're just full time.
Full time.
All in.
Yeah,
Good man.
all in.
I think you have to
in my
be.
opinion, man, you have to be.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I just don't think you can like dip your feet in the water and kind of do
can't.
this on the side of
Not
something.
if
and
it's
expect
like
to go
really
anywhere.
something that you want to do and want to make it in.
It's like everybody who's
It's gotta
super
be
successful.
your everything.
They had a crazy all in period.
Yeah.
It was weird. Yeah.
It's like one of those things. Like if you have
I hope
a,
you see the darkness in my soul.
it's like it's like one of those things, and I've heard it multiple times where it's like this is one of those things that people say like if you have a backup plan, you might as well just get out now.
yeah, you
Like
should go do the backup.
the
plan.
only reason you should be doing this is if you literally don't have any other choice.
so
You
back
can't
in the
see
day,
yourself doing anything else.
this is, I think before I went to school, I had like interned at a studio for a while, and I applied for an internship in LA. And looking back on it now, I'm like, man, maybe I should have just done it. But a studio called Night Owl. It's in LA. It's owned by Jeff Beck. Do you know who that is? So
Yes, I definitely know who Jeff Beck is.
I didn't at the time,
Touche.
but it's owned by Jeff Beck. I'm glad you do. Yeah, he's super successful.
yeah, extremely.
But it's his studio, and it's in the I believe it's in the Beverly Hills Motel parking structure. It's fucking completely secretive. Like
What?
you go into
Wow.
the parking structure of like the Beverly Hills Hotel, and then like on level 2, there's this door that looks like just a service door, like an parking garage would have, and then there's an amazing world-class studio. Now it's a smaller studio, but it's got
Wow.
all the shit.
Sounds crazy.
And like, they've done like Alicia Keys and a billion things. Like that's the only
Of
name I
course.
just remembered off the top of my
Yeah,
head,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like a million things and probably all of Jeff Beck's things and
Yeah, I mean, probably, yeah.
great stuff.
At least some of it.
So I was applying for an internship there, and it was an interesting experience.
Before Studio
There was
West.
a bunch of us there. This I think it was after I interned at Studio West. I have a similar story as you. Like Studio West was the biggest studio in San Diego, similar like Echo Mountain in Asheville.
Yeah.
And after my internship, I was like, and after school, I was like, well, I don't want to go back there. And then I wound up in Nashville, kind of similarly to how you
quite
did.
similar, yeah.
But anyway, so one of the things I was thinking about this place called Night Owl. And the thing was, is when I talked to them, they were like, we could give you an internship here, but like you would have to live in LA. Because I was thinking, maybe I'll commute. It's only 2 hours, It's a long drive
a
to
long
commute.
drive, yeah.
But I'm thinking if it's
One
a couple
way,
of days,
right?
you're an intern. As an intern, I don't know what they expect, but at Studio West, interns worked like 2 days a week.
Yeah.
So maybe they wanted more. I don't know. But I was just like, maybe I could, drive back and forth or something. Like
It's a
it
little
seemed like a
ridiculous.
stretch, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I was like, I wanted it. I didn't want to move to LA. I was really young. I was like 19 or 20.
Okay.
So anyway, ultimately, he was like, the guy sat me down. Okay, bringing it back to where we were in your story. The guy sat me down. I think he was like 30, and I'm like, whoa, so old. But anyway,
And here we are.
but he's like, I moved here from Arizona with my wife to do this, and his advice to me was, he was just like, look, as an audio engineer, like if you can do anything else, do that other thing.
Yeah.
He was like, look, anybody who does something in this field, we do it because we have to. Like, it's in our blood. Like, I just can't find satisfaction as a human unless I am engineering and in the studio. This is where I feel alive, so I have to. And so I've been willing to sacrifice everything for it. If you don't have to, do something else.
Hey, can you do anything else? Yeah. Okay, cool. Do that.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, if you want to move to LA and take this internship, you can. But if you're not willing to like move up here, like it's just too much for you to like drive up here and do all this. And so I back down from it. Looking back on what that opportunity could have meant, I maybe should have taken it. Things have worked out for me anyway, but like,
Yeah.
but
I mean, you know,
I didn't
you don't wanna
realize
live with regrets or nothing like that, you know? Like,
Nah. But I realize now,
never
I'm like,
know,
wow,
yeah.
if I was an intern at his studio that's very small, has like one main engineer and maybe one or two other interns at the time, like it actually probably wouldn't have taken that long before I'd have some opportunities open up. But then again, you never know. The studios I
But
did
then you have to
intern
be
at,
in LA.
interns did not open.
And LA's the worst place.
I still think about moving to LA
LA's
at
the
some
worst
point.
place.
Well, see, that was the thing is like
I love hate LA. I don't hate.
I can't.
I mostly
I
like
can't have my
like.
real own opinion, I suppose, on LA because I've only been there briefly a few times. But from what I hear, it's nicer to live in Nashville.
It's a giant pile of garbage, LA. Can't find
LA,
Valve username.
the thing
I
about
know
LA
Nashville- Bill's a
Says
hell
he
of a
wants to
lot
know who
cheaper.
these two people are.
yeah.
He's only ever seen my other streams.
Who is this?
Can't find valid username. So is this a budget-friendly talk show or what? So, this is Ryan Poole, my co-host on the show, and this is Chris, and his last name is pronounced like
Resovsky.
that's correct. Boom. And
You heard it first here.
so, username, when you started hanging out with the channel, we've had a little bit of break from our podcast, but normally we do a weekly show where we hang out with an artist or entertainer, and this is our first time having an audio engineer here, which is Chris.
Resovsky.
That's correct. And so we kind of hang out, find out about their lives. have
Next
some
time I'm
drinks and
adding a
whatnot.
J into the
Gets longer every time.
Yeah.
You can also find the show on YouTube or on anywhere you can find your podcasts, I think. Anywhere?
Podbean. Podcast, just the iTunes one.
Spotify.
Amazon.
We're on Spotify.
Yeah, we are
Yeah,
on Spotify.
I think we're on
All of the places that
Yeah.
podcasts exist, it gets aggregated to them all. Yep.
Yeah. We talk about music and other things.
Yeah, we're here in Nashville, Tennessee. So,
Tennessee.
Music City, Hellfire.
Woo! Yeah! Music City, Hellfire.
Hellfire, that's right.
So I want to ask you
We're talking
completely unrelated.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah,
You
we've
have
been way
this.
too on topic tonight.
This is the most on topic we've ever been.
We're doing too good.
Nice. Give me another beer then.
Yeah.
We'll get off topic
You gotta
real
open
quick.
it. He's at the opener. That thing that
Oh,
you
this
have.
thing. Oh no, we don't want to talk about this.
Ooh, a jewel. It's a jewel, right?
Yeah,
I
it
don't get what it is.
It's like your thing.
But is it, though?
But smaller.
But why? I don't get it.
It's more concentrated nicotine, right?
Yeah, so like each of these, supposedly what they say is like each of these cartridges is like equivalent to the nicotine in 20 cigarettes, a whole pack of cigarettes. So it's like it's a little different hit. I used to vape one of those big guys. It's a different
I was gonna
hit.
say, didn't you have them on? Can I try it?
I still have it.
Are you germ sensitive?
No, I'm not here.
I mean, Ryan has AIDS, but
germ sensitive.
That's okay. Me
And
too.
I don't have AIDS.
All cool people have AIDS. It's all
Not
right.
anymore.
not since that cure came out.
Yeah. Dun 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 dun.
Yo, completely off topic. Sorry to ruin your off topic thing, but I saw on the internet the other day that there is a pill that you take if you are high risk for AIDS. And I don't need to like explain what that means.
If you're gay.
But if you think I didn't say it.
You were
But there
thinking
are
it,
a few
you
other
fucker.
other reasons.
Sure.
People that are high risk for AIDS. Did you know there is a pill you can take that makes you less likely to contract the disease?
I heard about this
by
somewhere
like
as well. Was it a commercial?
90%.
Or was it This American Life? It's one of the two.
I don't know.
Or
I don't
Phil.
know.
Those are the three places I get my information.
Yeah, there's
internet ads, Phil DeFranco on YouTube,
And
and
This American Life. It's
That's
just
where all
it
my
apparently
things
makes
are
you
from.
like 90% less likely to get it. It's like
That's crazy.
yeah.
We should all be taking that pill just because.
What is it?
Just in case.
Does it just like boost your immune system like crazy?
must
or some
be what it
shit?
is. Something like
yeah.
that.
I don't know. Anyway,
do you
but
listen to This American Life?
I don't.
Or even
no.
know what it is?
I don't.
It's like the biggest podcast in the world. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
amazing, and it's hosted by Ira Glass, whose voice you can listen to all day.
Oh wow,
And can I try this too? Do you mind?
dude!
I'm really
by all
curious.
means,
I feel
yeah,
like
go for
I
it.
feel like I almost lightheaded from that hit.
What?
Yeah, it's
I
it's
feel
a
like
lot
an old
stronger.
guy. Where's the
than,
button?
You don't. You
No,
just
no
pull it.
button.
Oh, it's just a pull thing?
Yeah.
Like the okay.
It's a real hit.
Where's the button?
That's definitely
Yeah, hits a little harder, huh?
more concentrated. That's how I used to
yeah.
vape. I used to vape things that felt like that.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't have germs. I
think-
gotta rub it out. I'm
I
just
think
kidding.
y'all
No, you're
like
good. You're good.
Jewelers
it's just
is-
habit, man.
It doesn't
Jewelers.
bother
It's
me. I'm
more
sorry.
like cigarettes in the sense that you like don't do it as often.
I
Probably
kind of
right?
like that though.
Sorry, say that again. I kind of missed
As
the
a
question.
jeweler, isn't it more like
He's a pill expert. That's
you
right.
smoke it less often than a vape? Because a vape's like lower nicotine level. You're kind of just
But you can sell
vape.
whatever
The tendency
nicotine
is
you
just to
want.
vape all
When I started
the time.
vaping, I started at like 18 or something.
Holy
Well,
shit!
so the
burn.
Juul
was
is
a lot.
is technically not. It's not really designed to be a vape like that.
Like an all the time.
Yeah, it's designed to be. It's designed to be a way for people to
A
get off
smoking
of,
cessation device.
yeah, way to get off cigarettes. That's like the whole point of like, the cartridge is like equivalent to a pack of cigarettes. You know what I mean? So like
yeah.
you can kind of judge yourself on that. You know
Interesting.
that's how it's designed. Obviously, that's not
Is
how
one hit one cigarette of nicotine or no?
No. One. I don't know. Essentially, it's like supposed to be the same amount of puffs too, or whatever.
Oh, okay.
It's
Interesting.
like the same.
So how often you put a new pod in there?
Way more than I should. I'm not gonna say on here.
6 times a day.
Yeah, no, it's not that crazy, but more often than I should.
What was your
That was more
off-topic thing,
random
Jerry?
pill facts, Mr. Dr. Drugman.
That being
just reading
said,
chat.
all that
Yeah.
being said, it has like the reason it's designed. Like, I will go ahead and say, it's not how it's been used. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's used just like vape
kids,
is used, right?
yeah, exactly. It's Except it's
They're-
like
apparently
much
they're
more
getting
in my.
rid of all the flavors.
Well, no,
I have
they're
heard.
they're stopping selling them in stores because they're saying that's too much, that they're marketing that to kids.
Which is the same thing when
they're
they got
stopping
rid of
selling the
clove.
fruity flavors
Yep.
in stores.
for all vape stuff or specifically.
I think it's
smoking
all.
stuff?
I think it's all
I mean,
vape stuff.
I mean, we make our own juice, so
I haven't heard
Well,
what
no,
you
no,
just
no, no,
said,
like,
but for vape juice. but
You'll
I've heard
still be able to
something
get it
similar.
at like smoke shops and stuff, but
I
not
see, I
or
see.
like vape shops
Gotcha.
or whatever, but just not like a gas station or
Yeah.
wherever.
So like youth vaping rates have gone way up because everybody has a stigma against smoking, but people don't have a stigma
Yeah, so now,
against
now
vaping.
that smoking's not a
Well,
thing
the
anymore,
stigma
now
against
vapes
vaping
are
is-
the
yeah.
next thing. You
yeah.
know?
Well, the stigma against vaping is you look like a douchebag.
Yeah.
Right.
But dude, the I saw a big thing about it the other day about how like people are going after vape now, and I'm just like,
Let
I'm
me
like, y'all
have
don't
my
even know yet.
addictions.
right? Y'all don't even know if it's actually bad for people. Like it just looks like
Yeah.
something we all know is bad for people.
Yes, username. We love doing a music show that talks about vape.
Yeah.
We talk about everything. We're talking about. But you know what? No, I was going to say here's a music thing, but I didn't actually have anything queued up, so I just kind of went, just stop.
No, we're going back to vape.
Well, normally then I'd be like, you know what? Play a song. So should we play a song?
Sure.
Play a song.
So he's an engineer, which I know you came and so you didn't hear the whole description. But so he's not playing the instruments; he's engineering the music. Do you want to give like a 20-second description of what that is, or 10-second description for people who didn't hear earlier or have no idea?
I'll give you a 5-second description. So all the records you hear on the radio, I cut those. Period.
That's pretty good.
Oh, it was like 3 seconds.
All right. So what song are we going to listen to?
So this is a song. This is one of the older tunes I cut by a great friend of mine. His name's Robert Leonard. This is a song called "Call It a Day," and it's a good old country song. Here you go.
So listen to the sweet, sweet tunes of Robert Leonard. You'll still be able to see us, but y'all won't be able to hear us. But you'll be able to hear this.
Those gray clouds are crying in the sky, trying to bring this old world back to life, which is more than I can say for you and I. Let's Spend the day with me and let me try to find a way to keep our love alive. And let me rock you to the falling rain. Just let those tears roll on down your face. Let's feel the pain, find what remains, and build it up again. Let me hold you in my tired arms to remind you that I'd never do you harm. Don't turn away, meet me halfway, darling, what do you say? Let's call it a day. Been a lot that's preying on my mind, and I've prayed about it, I've asked for a sign. I don't wanna argue, I don't wanna fight. How about we get down to the bottom line? Let's take it slow, one moment at a time. And let me rock you to the falling rain. Just let those tears roll on down your face. Let's feel the pain, find what remains, and build it up again. Let me hold you in my tired arms to remind you that I never do you harm. Don't turn away, meet me halfway, darling, what do you say? Let's call it a day. Oh, let's call it a day.
All right, and we're back. Yes, username, I did see your comment. Wow.
Sorry, bro. I don't know how to delete.
Zed Macahan? What's going on? What's RX Overdrive? Is that a band?
RX Overdrive.
So hardcore. But anyways, where were we before that? Oh yeah, but before that was Robert Leonard. Call It a Day. You can find it on Spotify.
Indeed, you can.
Definitely go check it out.
He's got more stuff on YouTube too.
And more stuff on YouTube. Cool. So outside of musicking, right, and all that encompasses, do you do anything else? Do you have hobbies? Do you ride horses or motorcycles or jump out of planes?
Dude, there's like no
Or play
time for
golf?
hobbies when you're musicking.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to jump out of planes. Riding horses, I've done that. It's all right.
Well, you're not gonna limit yourself to those things. Anything's fine.
What about riding a horse out of a plane?
What?
No one's ever done that before,
Yeah.
am I right?
Bet, dude. Let's do it.
I guess you'd have to put
No, you
my
don't.
first
No, you don't.
imagining it in my head.
You don't have to do anything. You just gotta ride that bitch out.
In my imagination.
The horse is like, shit.
No, it's like, yeah. In my imagination, I'm just picturing, oh yeah, you just put a parachute on you, and then it helps the horse too, but you jump out, and then you float up, you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, Clover.
Oh, no. Sorry, Seabiscuit. Splat.
Splat. But you got to put a parachute on the horse too,
Several,
or
probably.
tie yourself down to the
No, then
horse.
you both die.
Yeah,
think so?
definitely.
Yeah,
give the
parachute can't hold a
horse.
horse.
You need.
That shit's like 1,000 pounds, dude.
Me and Ryan met a dead horse once.
We did.
Reggie, what's his name?
Congratulations. I've met alive horses.
Any dead ones though?
You met any dead ones?
Named
Yeah,
Reggie.
everyone's met a live horse. No big whoop.
You ain't
met a
cool till
dead
you met a
horse?
dead horse, son.
We just found him when we are exploring abandoned mine shafts.
Oh, wow. That's creepy.
Anyways, what kind of hobbies do you have?
We have a whole side life.
I'm not sure exploring abandoned mine shafts is one of them.
Yeah, Zed. I'm just calling you Zed. What do you mean, no time, do it all? Well. Did you hear when we were talking about what he does? He's an audio engineer, makes music, and apparently that consumes your entire life, and you have no time for hobbies. Not even a little ones.
That was sarcastic. I mean,
So you do have hobbies?
I was joking. Yes, I do have hobbies.
What hobbies do you have?
Maybe I need to get into
I
that.
think you're really into beer.
I don't.
I do enjoy beer. I think a lot of people in Nashville probably do. I think a lot of people in America probably enjoy beer. To be honest, like let's be real here.
And the world.
And you know the whole fucking world, because let's be real, it's awesome.
it's delightful.
So, you know, monks have been making it for centuries, so it's a cool thing. Anyways,
Thanks, the monks.
yeah, beer's great. No, but I love. I'm a big outdoor guy. I'm a big outdoor enthusiast. I do a lot of backpacking and hiking, as well as like a lot of outdoor sports like snowboarding. You know, winter sports, that kind of stuff.
That's cool.
I've done a lot of boarding out west in Colorado, primarily Colorado. I like to travel a lot. In March, I'm going to Mardi Gras because that's
cool.
the thing I want to do. Yeah,
Nice.
you know, I'm one of those guys who has a lot of things they want to take care of in life, and lots of places I want to go. I want to see the fucking world. You know what I mean? So I'm a traveler, vagabond, if you will, in my free time.
So
That's
where
what I do.
all have you been? Mr. Traveler.
I've been a lot of places. I haven't done a whole Euro trip yet, but let's see. I've been to London. I've been to Ireland. Well, all over England and Ireland. I've been a few different places in Canada. I spent some time in Vancouver. Like I said, I've been all over the United States. Got family in Detroit. Spent a lot of time there. I've got a lot of friends out in Denver and Colorado. I've spent a good bit of time out there. I've been out to Cali a few times. My sister used to live out in Seattle, so out
That's not Cali.
northwest of yes, I know that's
Just making sure, because it sounded like you thought it was.
California.
Washington State. No, yeah, Seattle, California. In case you guys aren't aware, but it's a place and a thing and stuff. But yeah, no, yeah, she used to live out there, and so I've been around Washington State a bit, and never been south, like a tropical place. Have you guys ever been like to like on like a tropical cruise or
I've been to
like
Mexico.
a tropical? See, that's the thing. Like I
Closest
really
I've been is
Mexico.
I feel like all my friends have like been somewhere tropical,
Yeah,
and I've
Puerto
never
Nuevo?
been.
I was thinking that in my head, but no, that's not right.
Puerto Vallarta. Rosarita.
I've been
What
to all those
about
places. Not what
Viagra?
I'm talking about. They're not tropical enough. I'm talking about
Do something stupid. you
Playa
can
del
clip.
Carmen. I stayed in Playa del
Oh, okay.
Carmen, which is a part of Cancun.
Which is still Mexico.
It's about as
Cancun?
tropical as I
Yeah.
got. Yeah, it is Mexico.
Cancun.
Cancun.
Classic Cancun.
It's a very different Mexico.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like the not rapey version of Mexico.
So Zed McMahon
Sorry, was that?
says he's a Swedish music producer
Keeping
and
the
outdoor
racism
fanatic as
alive.
well. Well, if you ever make it down to Nashville, Zed, we'll have to have you on the show.
Zed? Is that like the Zed?
The Zed.
Zed, the
I don't know who
producer.
Zed is.
Zed, he's a
You don't
major
listen-
producer.
Yeah, huge
Is
producer.
he Swedish?
Maybe.
Yo,
Well,
let's
this could be
real.
him.
Is Zed a producer? He's not like what I think of as a producer. He's
He's-
an EDM artist. Am I
He
right?
is, but he's also a producer because he does a lot of shit with different artists.
I just want to say this. Yeah, our podcast doesn't have enough reach that I care.
But
The middle-
what if this is him, though?
It's
gonna say
not.
something
It's not
mean
the
about
real
Zed?
Zed. He doesn't have time for this shit.
You know
Zed
who
is
else streams
major.
on Twitch?
Zed.
Is,
Skrillex. Mouse. Dead Mouse.
Dead Mouse.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's also a
Dude.
Twitch streamer.
Well,
so you never know.
If he's talking shit about Zed, Deadmau5 will probably love it.
I'm not talking shit about Zed. I don't know about.
Wow, why do you hate Zed?
I don't know about
I don't think this
enough
has
about Zed to
be
talk
honest,
shit.
I don't think this has anything to do with Zed.
Let me just say this about this. Something that's a little eye-opening for me is I watched a video that was like the behind the scenes on The Middle. You know The Middle with Maren Morris and Zed?
I do, yeah.
And Gray was the other one. Okay, so I watched the behind the scenes video. And basically The Middle was written by some producer group. It was like two guys.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's like kind of like a very common, like,
Yeah.
more like an LA thing, I feel like.
He's talking shit about Zed.
But it was like two dudes, and they wrote this song with some girl singer
Yeah, he is.
called The Middle. And they're like, this is sick. So then they called a bigger group of producers and was like, hey, do you want to get on this song? So in the bigger group, I think that was Gray, who's actually credited on the song, I think. Then Gray, which is another two dudes, they're like, cool, you guys wrote a song. We're going to add some cool sound effects, which they did, and build the track out a little more. Then they, because they're a little bigger, they're like, hey, Zed, do you want to produce this? And Zed's like, this is dope. Okay. I don't know what Zed added at that point, but I'm like, it's already gone through 4 fucking guys before it got through Zed that wrote the song, then created production, then like, what did he do? I'm sure he added more production, but then Zed finds singers. They went through like 10 famous chicks, and then they found Maren Morris, and now it's a massive hit. Who gets all the credit? Maren Morris and Zed. Who
what
did
song
this
is
shit?
this?
The Middle. Baby,
Oh, it's a
why don't
great
you
song.
just meet me in the middle?
I love that
It's
song,
a great
though.
song, but what
That
did it
song's so
illustrate to
good.
me?
Just a little.
Maybe I'm just jaded
And you said you
at
don't
this
perform
point.
live.
The way I
fuck,
feel,
I just did.
the way
See what
I
I'm saying?
feel about,
it's the beers.
the way I feel about those kind of guys, I don't know. Maybe Zed's super talented. He might be.
Well, if
he
it makes you
probably
feel
is.
better,
Well,
this guy confirmed
he's
he's
done-
not that Zed.
Okay, good.
So you can say all the shit
I'm
you want.
saying is, in this instance, when it's gone through 2 rounds of other humans, 4 producers, you didn't write the song, you didn't create the original production, like you're attaching your name to it because you think it's a bit good business decision, and then add a little bit more.
But would you do that
and
same
find
thing
the
now?
chick.
I'd do that same
Would
thing.
you do that same thing? Let's say it's,
I'd totally do it.
Who's like big but not too big currently?
What?
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Massive act. Not currently in the light. Let's say they do some shit and then it gets passed through a bunch of people, gets to you. You're like, it's good. Maybe I'll like tweak a little thing. But you're like, then I get to attach my name to Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, I guess the simple.
100% you do
Sure.
the same thing.
Yeah, I would do the same
so
thing.
why are you giving Zed shit?
Because I
Because
think it
fuck him, that's why.
Because fuck him.
Whoa.
I think it's just
Zed, hold the horses, Zed McCahan.
ooh,
Just 1,
we got
2,
diamonds.
3, 4, 5,000 bits. You have funded our next show. I'm looking for our next show.
He donated.
You just donate, donate
cool.
bits. It's Twitch currency.
Dude, Zed, you're the fucking
Zed,
man.
you're the
Thanks,
man.
Zed.
Who knew talking shit about Zed would get us a bunch of money for talking shit about
Because this is
Zed?
the real Zed. Real Zed.
The real Zed. Yeah, fuck that other Zed.
Fuck that
He's
other
been saying
Zed.
that for years. I'm sure he had the screen name Zed long before Zed showed
long
up.
before Zed showed up.
I'm just saying those massive like celebrity producers, it kind of pisses me off because it's a similar thing as other celebrities where it's like they're not the ones creating the content.
Sure.
They didn't write the song. They didn't make the production. All they do is they have a good voice or a good look. And then they kind of carry it in a celebrity way. And I think I'm a little bit pissed at people who are famous for the sake of like, I don't know how they became famous. There's probably a lot of different ways. But like the people who actually probably did the work of creating a really good thing, from them, I totally get their perspective. Like if I'm the lower guys on the totem pole, it's like, dude, we're not going to get legs on this shit. We have to attach it to celebrities because they're the only people who can.
Sure.
So I feel like for the guys at the bottom end of that shit who wrote the song, they're heroes for accomplishing this. I'm super
Sure.
impressed by them.
Absolutely.
But by Zed, who's just fucking has name recognition and like 1 billion people are sending him everything, all their best shit, I'm just like, fuck you. Like, you're not talented. Like, you just
Well,
He might be
have a
talented.
name.
You
He
know
might
what
be
the
talented.
well,
Yeah.
you know what the shittiest part about that is, Ryan, is that like the people that wrote the song, you know, and were probably more involved, you know, in the actual production as opposed to just attaching their name to it. Those people aren't getting compensated the way they should. For like
Tell me
for
about that.
example, like so like all the like the Spotifys and the Pandoras and like I mean everybody fucking knows that song, The Middle, has
I'm gonna
gotten.
say Zed's going to bed.
Night, Zen.
See you later, Zed.
Night, Zed.
Wanna say goodbye.
Donation.
Hey, I really appreciate your donation.
Dude, thank
you're
you,
the
brother.
man.
Thanks for watching.
Come hang out later. Sorry.
Anyways, so like all the Spotify's and the Pandoras and all that, they've destroyed. They're getting better, but they've destroyed royalty compensation for writers and engineers in particular, like writers, engineers, producers, the guys back behind the scenes, like all of us. They've really all the streaming services and illegal downloading played its part.
Much less now, I
late
assume, than it used to
90s,
be.
late 90s, more earlier 2000s. Now it's just all the streaming services and all that. So like now from all that, all these writers, they're not getting compensated properly. That's just the bottom line. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but they're just not getting compensated the way they should for the sheer amount of plays and and stuff that is happening to these songs that they themselves have written. And like Ryan alluded, there's other people are kind of getting credit for them, and in that, so Zed, like you said earlier, is his own EDM artist self. He's his own thing in and of himself. So like, him getting his name on this, and then whoever else, like Maren Morris, now those two have their names, so they get all the views, at least in people's brains, they get all the glory, right? They get all the glory. So then that turns into a huge profit for them because more people are going to be going to their shows and, yada, yada, yada. So they're and buying their records and blah, 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 blah. So they're going to get, more, you're going to see a lot more out of this. But like the people, like you said, that were actually involved in actually creating and writing the song, they're not going to see any of that, unfortunately. They might see a little bit of it, but they're not going to see what they should. That's the sad part. And that's where the recording industry has gotten off currently, and is working to get back on. So
You know what doesn't have a problem with that? Rock music, mostly. Like rock music, usually your band writes the song.
Is that the case anymore? I don't even know. I'm so far removed.
Yeah. Well,
I miss rock
I guess
music.
I'm
not
not super
always,
familiar with
but
time of the
I
rock.
just
Not
really
always,
miss
but
rock.
like, think about your typical rock. Okay, the 1975. Did they write their own music? Probably.
Well, haven't you seen that? I forget what song it was. It's a meme, which I hate describing a meme because it's fucking weird. But it's on one side. It's got, I think maybe it was Single Ladies or something, and it was like 75 writers and all these however many producers and writers, and then it, side by side with Bohemian Rhapsody, it was like one writer, one producer, or one. Yeah.
It's pop, country, and Christian all have a lot of writers, a lot of things.
Not all of it, but a lot of it.
Majority.
Yeah.
Would you say majority? My exposure to it would seem like most, but I don't always know. I don't know.
I would agree in saying the majority for sure.
Anyway,
All right, username.
on the other token, if somebody was coming at me and being like, fuck that, I might end up defending it. If I were to defend it, I think the defense is, it's sort of weird that we expect one person to be like a Freddie Mercury who writes, sings, composes, and all
Sure,
shit.
well, it doesn't need to
Freddie
go that
Mercury
far.
didn't even, he had a band backing him up. And
Sure. It doesn't need to go that far.
Yeah.
Which username? If you know that meme, go ahead and post a link. Because you said you're a meme pro. I trusted in you. It doesn't go that far, but there's a huge gap from this to this. That somewhere in the middle is probably fine.
Yeah. In the middle. it's all fine. I guess I was just, dude, I just saw, when I saw the Zed Maren Moore song, I was like, that's dope. Wow, this guy's making great stuff. And then I saw they made a behind the scenes video. He was okay with sharing this information. When I saw how many rounds of people that are involved, I was like, to be honest, just being involved in this stuff, it seems to me that the people at the bottom probably made the better thing. And then they're like, how I, you know,
And
this
see
is-
myself.
is a
then
way
they turned it into
yeah.
a subpar pop song, basically, is what you're
Hey,
saying.
it's
No,
I really
no.
dig that song. It's so
as,
good.
As far as I'm
I love
concerned,
that
it's
song.
a
I'm not
perfect
saying
pop
anything
song.
against the song. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to understand what you're saying.
Oh, what I'm saying is just like it just seems to me like with my understanding of how things work and my understanding is a bit limited, but I'm more on the side of like
Same.
a creator side. I'm not involved on the industry side so much. Like to me, people who are really industry, I'm not so much a part of that. I know those people. I'm not those people. So to me, I'm on the creator side. It seems to me that the real work was probably done 3 steps before it got to Zed. And then he got a track that was dope and was like, okay, I'm going to add my signature Zed things to it. And he probably did real stuff. He's probably an Ableton Pro. And he like added his
Yeah.
signature drops and his signature, you know, and he probably added some shit.
Yeah.
I don't
not the
know.
meme.
Maybe
He-
even
he
in this
did
case,
his
because I have no
thing.
idea. Maybe he made the coolest part of it. Like maybe he was the one who was like, "Let's add the vocoder." By the way, just ripped off Bon Iver. That's where that shit came from.
But let's
who
be
kinda
honest,
ripped off Francis.
Everything
Scala.
is ripped off from everything.
It's true.
That's just
That's
how it
true.
works.
But
At
watch
this
out.
point, yeah.
There are certain artists though. If you watch them, that's what pop music will do next.
Man, you know what I've been really liking though?
Who?
Completely not related. What's her name? Halsey? Dude,
Is she still
I
doing
listened-
things?
I love Halsey.
Oh, she's so. I've heard
It's
like
it's
I've only heard like
one
the
of my
number one song
guilty
first or whatever.
pleasures.
But I was at work and what's her big song?
Without Me.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I wonder what other stuff she does. And I listened to like through her music on Google Play and on
Yeah,
Spotify.
I mean,
I was
Without
like,
Me
this
is
all
huge right now,
amazing.
and so is East Side. The song she did with Khaled, like that shit is dope. I was impressed. I've been impressed with a couple of
But
things.
does he yell
Khaled's
DJ
put out.
Khaled over
No.
the? Oh wow, what
No.
a
DJ
Oh,
Khaled.
He's like,
we,
it's kind
we
of
the best.
yeah, like I'm not. It's funny because like I'm not a huge fan of that stuff, but like the stuff he does with like these, you know, other artists and stuff. Like he did stuff with Halsey, and he's done stuff with a couple of other artists. One song comes to mind. I can't think of the name of it, but it's on the Superfly motion picture soundtrack. And like, I mean, dude, he kills it. You know what I mean? He's singing and producing, and it's really cool.
But I've been really just digging her
Dude,
music.
Halsey's awesome though.
I'm
I'm
really
a
like
real sucker for her voice for sure.
Yeah.
And that song "Sorry" on her latest record, oh my god, it's just piano and her vocal. Oh my god, like geez, sing that to me all day long, please. It's like the most emo shit ever, but like for real though, like it's like the most emo shit ever, but just like it just works so well, man. It's just piano and her vocal, and it just sings so well.
So she's like blown up again, huh? I haven't heard of her
I
for a
mean,
few years.
I only
feel like-
knew her recently, so I couldn't tell you.
I feel like she's been constantly getting a little
Well,
bigger
like,
and bigger.
My experience with Halsey was that she
I mean, she
she
did all
got
that
on a
stuff
Justin
with the
Bieber track.
Chainsmokers.
I literally
Did you
never
notice
heard of
that-
her until about a year ago.
she
You know
got
the
she was
Chainsmokers?
on the Purpose album from Justin Bieber, and
Okay.
was like sort of an unknown, and then that's like kind of how she got recognized.
Well,
in
she
my
did a bunch of
experience.
stuff with the Chainsmokers. That like one big.
Which songs from the Chainsmokers?
I don't know. The really cool EP that they did, the collage EP or whatever.
She wasn't on what was the song?
Close. It's like Closer, right, or something like that by the Chainsmokers.
So baby, pull me closer, in your rubber.
Yeah, I think it was that
one. That's a good song.
Yeah, I think it was that one.
She wasn't in that. Was she? Is that her? In either case, I did just see the other day John Mayer interviewed her on a show he does now. Apparently, he has a podcast because doesn't everyone?
Because everybody cool has one now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Username. Yeah, I play meme songs sometimes. That's only my regular stream, not on our music specific podcast. But I do love that song you posted. But the song request only works from my home computer, not here. Sorry.
Nice.
I love it.
Anyway,
Sorry.
What?
You know Alex Jones though?
Do I know who?
Alex Jones.
the start on the frogs, gay.
Well, he posted a song called "Gay Frogs Alex Jones Remix," and I've heard it before, and it is amazing. You never heard of Alex Jones?
I have
You're
not.
turning the frogs gay. Never?
No.
He's like a crazy talk show host
Yeah, he's
on the internet.
Oh wait.
conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, isn't that the InfoWars guy?
Yes, the
okay,
InfoWars
yeah,
guy.
yeah, I know that fucker. Yeah, that fucking guy,
We'll listen to that song
the
later.
most
though, for sure.
ridiculous person on the
amazing.
internet, hands down.
He's getting kicked off the internet. You
Good
heard?
for
Did you hear
him.
about that?
No, I didn't.
Well, not completely off the internet because it's impossible. But like,
Yeah.
like YouTube
What?
removed his channel.
Oh, that's funny.
And like a bunch of other websites like kicked him off, like Facebook and all this stuff, because he's a terrible, terrible person.
Yo, Chris,
Yo,
are you
Ryan.
into South Park?
I love South Park.
I knew
though.
you had the vibe, or we've talked about it. One of those, I forget which.
Either is possible.
I watched a new episode last night.
Oh, I haven't seen any of the new ones.
They
Don't ruin it.
they spam Amazon, or they not spam. They make fun of Amazon.
Sure.
I won't ruin it at all, but I'll just
I don't
say
care.
As they probably
they
should.
South Park gets an Amazon fulfillment center.
Oh,
They're just
God.
so on point with like
Dude,
whatever's
yeah,
current.
dude, they're like on it, dude. That's the thing. That's the funny thing about South Park. It's like Trey Parker and Matt Stone literally don't give a shit about anything. They just have no fucks to give anymore, and so they're just rolling with it. And it's
Yep.
like all the new stupid shit. They're just like, oh my God, the world is like literally feeding us bullshit right now. Like, how can we not just crack fucking jokes on this shit?
So they get an Amazon fulfillment center,
Oh, great.
and all the townspeople work there, and they play some old country song about working in the mines over footage of people working in Amazon fulfillment.
oh
They
my
kinda,
God.
they're like,
Oh my God.
they're just subtly comparing it to like old school like labor shit. And then
Yeah, like
they,
people
they,
working in the fucking mines.
right. They all the townspeople decide to strike because some guy gets like killed by all the automated machinery they have doing
Of
shit.
course. It's probably Kenny.
No, some guy named Josh.
You
He gets
bastards.
compacted in an Amazon box that has the little smile on it, and the news literally interviews the box, and they're like, "So, can you come
Does it,
out
like,
of there?"
actually
and he's
talk?
like, "Actually, my organs were compacted, and if I get out of the box, I'll instantly die." So he just lives in a box, but he like leads the union strike
Oh my
against
God.
them. They
So
all
the
strike
Amazon
working center.
box leads the fucking union against Amazon.
And then Jeff Bezos comes out to South Park
geez.
to try and like get things under control because now people aren't getting their deliveries on time. And Jeff Bezos, they make him, he has this giant bald head that looks like a brain, like a fucking alien. And when he talks, he doesn't open his mouth. He's speaking through telecommunication. And he's always like, "What is going wrong now?"
Well, have
But
you
you know-
seen pictures of
and-
him? And pictures of what he used to look like?
No.
Oh, you see him like when he just started Amazon as a book selling thing. He's like this dorky little guy.
Oh, yeah,
with,
now
like
he's
a
like-
sweater with
now
like
he's
the
like-
collar coming out the top
now
of
he's
the
like
sweater.
jacked as
now he's
fuck.
like, yeah, he looks like a fucking SWAT team.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
ripped
he's
out
like
his
he's
goddamn
gonna
mind.
fucking murder people.
Sunglasses on, shaved. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, that guy will fuck me
He's
up.
like he's like
Yeah.
straight up
The other-
Jack neo-Nazi coming at you hard.
And the other guy was like just a nerd. Like Bill, you know, pictures of like Bill Gates from the '80s.
Yeah.
Like that's what he looked like. Now he looks.
But
like,
now he looks like-
Vin Diesel. Like that's the difference.
Yeah, like a little.
Oh, pictures of Bill Gates from the 80s. You mean like
Diesel.
pictures of Bill Gates from now, but a little older?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Bill Gates didn't change
Bill
too
Gates-
much.
Bill Gates stuck to his roots.
He just made more and
he
more
knew,
money.
He knew what was good for him.
Did you know Jeff? We're on a first name basis. Passed Bill in Richest Man in the World, but then immediately Bill passed him back, and then immediately Jeff passed him.
No.
But yeah, it's like and currently
They got a back and forth going?
they got back and forth. But the biggest reason why he was beating him is because Bill Gates keeps giving away all his money.
Oh, wow.
Like he just gives away like $1 billion to charity, and then
but
Jeff is on top.
Jeff Bezos, like Amazon. If you think about what's happening in the world,
It's
Amazon
crazy.
is constantly growing. What has Microsoft
Oh, yeah.
done recently?
A lot.
Really? What's new? I
Well,
just
see,
like
that's
I
the
haven't
thing, though.
bought
Like those
anything from
software
Amazon.
companies, dude, they do more than you fucking
Like,
know
yeah,
about,
like
which is kind of terrifying.
Microsoft
honestly.
owns like
Like the AI that
You know, Microsoft
Microsoft has been researching and shit. Like, dude, I don't even want to get in. I don't want to turn this into a fucking Joe Rogan podcast, but like AI is fucking stupid right now.
We've been
Apologies for all my
podcast.
apologies for all my
episode.
F-bombs. Apologies for all the F-bombs.
No, we cussed the whole time.
Yeah, we cuss, drink, and smoke the whole time.
All right,
promise.
Yeah.
But
Next time I'm bringing the weed.
Yeah, Microsoft is doing the whole thing.
We haven't done that on the show.
You can't. It's against terms and conditions unless you're in a state where it's legal, which it's not here.
Oh, interesting.
Though never mind, I can't say.
Touche.
I've streamed time.
That would make sense.
I've
I didn't
streamed
even
high.
think about that. But like Joe Rogan didn't even do that till Cali like totally realized or legalized it. I didn't even realize that. Didn't even think about it.
I've streamed high from California,
Wow.
and definitely not from Tennessee ever.
What was it like?
I've definitely streamed high from Tennessee.
I'm high right
this
now. I don't fucking care. Fuck, I'm high right now.
But
You can't just say you're high and be high, Chris. That's not how it works.
God, don't you know the rules?
You're all. No, I'm high.
Yeah,
I swear I am.
we could do a music or hideout with the weed in California one day.
That's what we should do.
But no, Microsoft's doing a lot
do they like-
more than Apple.
Do they like kick you off the internet if you do shit like that?
Well, you can get your Twitch account banned, which is what I'm growing on.
Oh, those assholes.
But if you're in a state where it's legal,
Just kidding,
it's fine.
Twitch. Thanks for
No, you
everything
can
you
call
do.
them assholes. They're fine with that. Yeah, fuck you. But
Sorry, Twitch. Sorry.
but I actually really do like you, so don't fuck you. I was just saying that to prove a point. Don't ban me, please. But yeah, that's like a big rule. It's fine unless it's self-harm. So like there are people who are doing like every follower I take a shot. They don't allow that because you can kill yourself.
You
But
can.
I drink on stream all the time, and that's fine.
I don't think you can do that with weed though. Like every time you get a follower, you take a hit. You get
You'll
ripped,
get
but
uncomfortably high.
yeah, I mean you'll have to stop the podcast at some point, but
Nope, you just let it run forever. at that point.
Forever.
You never stop it again.
Yo, but here's the real topic we should be talking about. This is what the people want to hear about. Spider-Man on PS4.
Oh my, do you play games at all?
oh god.
Dude.
I played that game. I played that game for the first time.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, I played it for the first time over Thanksgiving.
How was it?
I was back home, and
Did it blow your goddamn mind?
it was pretty fucking incredible.
Did you beat Fisk?
I'm not gonna lie.
I bought a PlayStation just for that
I
game.
literally played for like 20 minutes or something, 20, 30 minutes, but
Did you get to Fisk?
it was pretty amazing. No, I didn't get to Fisk.
played for
until-
20
yeah,
minutes.
it's like the very first
the first
thing you do.
episode is trying to get to Fisk.
I was playing on my buddy's thing.
Oh, so
and
you're
it
like in the
was-
middle of something.
Yeah, I was just doing
But you
stuff,
swing
but-
around and immediately you were like, this is what life was always meant to be.
I mean, I don't know. I felt that way necessarily.
That's how you felt. It's how you felt.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. It took me a second to figure out the mechanics, but like once I did, I was extremely
It's like
impressed.
swinging through the city.
Well,
and
Yeah,
shit.
that's
very cool.
probably
It's
because you
very
played
cool.
on your buddy's account. If you start the game from the beginning, it's like really good at teaching.
Yeah, I'm
you.
sure it kind of teaches you. Yeah, I'm sure.
It's
I'm still saying, like, I mean, it wasn't. I mean,
incredible.
Yeah.
That's the word you're looking for.
yeah, and it's pretty incredible. Like
I have not been
cinematically and
impressed
like
by the game.
fundamentally, that game is awesome.
It's
It's
I
very
haven't played
impressive
a brand
what
new
you're
video
what
game
you're able to
since
do
like
and how smooth everything
That's
is.
ridiculous.
It's very cool.
the last time I played a new video game and actually played it, like trying to play it, not just like. Look, I've played video games over the years. Like you were at a friend's house and they had a video game, and I played, but I didn't really know anything about it. But last time I was into games and literally played a game through was probably 2001.
So almost 20 years.
Yeah, in 17 years, games have come a long way. I've learned.
Well, let me tell you, I stream games live 20 to 30 hours a week,
yeah,
and I have not been as impressed by a game as I have with Spider-Man in a long time.
dude, the game it's
What do you
like
play it on?
it's like
you have to
what
play it on
I-
PS.
It's only on PlayStation.
it's like what video games were always meant
Everything
to be.
else I stream is PC.
Every
yeah.
game in the past gave me the
You have like a Steam
illusion.
account or whatever.
Yeah, but I can't. But that's PlayStation, so it's not on there.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got so many games.
Yeah. My buddy does that too. He's got a killer PC. It's ridiculous.
But it's not
Sorry,
it's mine. Though.
sidetrack.
Mine's ridiculous. I have a goddamn supercomputer now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had nothing more to say other than like it's great.
It's really good.
It's amazing. It's like what I thought video games should have been. It's like
It's what you always wanted them to be.
Yeah, it's
and
like
what
when
you
you
thought
play-
you were close to then and didn't realize how far you were.
exactly my thoughts. It's like when you were playing video games back in the day. There's an element of pretend and suspended disbelief to where you're like, oh, I'm really like a spaceman. I'm really like Halo. Wow, it's just like we're here. But
You mean
this,
Master Chief?
yeah. What's crazy about Spider-Man, it's like little things like, for instance, if I climb to the top of the Empire State Building, first off,
There's
I
an
can't believe I'm
Empire
allowed
State
to
Building.
do that.
Yeah.
You climb the Empire State Building and then you look around and everything around you that should loads. Like you see the whole world around you like a real person would.
Right.
Not like I
And
see
you're like,
five
they
buildings ahead and then
recreated
it's
New
like
York
fog.
State. They
And it's all-
recreated
yeah.
Manhattan.
It's somehow able to render the whole fucking thing. And it doesn't look like a picture. It looks like real life. The clouds look real.
And you can test it by swinging through all that shit.
Yeah, you can swing through the whole thing. It's kind of like what video games were trying to be back when I played games. But
the
they
technology.
always
Video
had to like kind of
Video games
hack
are
it a little
crazy
bit.
now, man.
It's nuts.
It's ridiculous.
Have you heard about Red Dead Redemption 2?
Dude, yeah.
That's
I
the
haven't
next
played
one.
it yet.
They
That's what I'm
just, didn't they
explaining.
just come out with online for that too?
Yeah, like a week
We're
ago.
both
like a
like
week, yeah,
30%
very
through
recent.
Spider-Man now.
Oh, I'm
You're
like
a little
50.
fast past
I'm
me.
like
No,
50 now.
no. Unless
After
you
last
played.
night?
Did you play today?
See, I don't.
Last night
I
was
saw
like
your
50.
progress last night.
I
Last
need
night
a,
you were
I
at 35.
wish I had a PS4, but
Or
I don't.
39. I
I play,
promise you.
I got it just for Spider-Man on Black Friday.
I know.
I
so
play
did-
on your
so did my
account.
buddy.
I
What
see
it
where
was
you're
like
at.
$200, right, or something?
$199,
Well,
and
yeah.
it came with Spider-Man.
And it comes with Spider. Yeah,
It was
I know.
amazing. I had to go to 5 different stores to find
I
one.
should have.
that was sold out.
I should have gotten one, but I didn't.
But the well, in Red Dead Redemption, this is literally how detailed the game is.
Wait, before you go into
Okay.
that, we just need to prove really quick. You're not 50% through
No, I'm
Spider-Man.
like 45 or something.
No.
I'm in the
You're
40s.
like 39.
No, I'm in the 40s.
I opened your account last night.
You guys are ridiculous.
We play the same
I'm gonna
profile.
go to the bathroom.
yeah, you can go, but that's fine. We allow it.
That's where you hit your end point. You were okay with racism?
I'm always good with racism.
We are in the South. But so in Red Dead Redemption 2, which I never played number 1. I've heard it's amazing. I didn't have a PlayStation at the time. 2, I definitely got to get it. But here's the thing. This is how detailed it is. I'm not even joking. Like, there's been videos proving this is actually in the game.
Okay.
Like, however detailed you think I'm going to go right now, it's more than that. This is so far detailed that this shouldn't be in a game.
Okay.
Which is you ride horses, right? You get a horse, and you ride
Yeah.
that horse, right? You get a horse, yeah. Yeah, sometimes you get multiple horses.
Can you jump it out of a plane, though?
Probably. There's no planes in the Old West.
The Wild West?
But if you're in a nice warm area versus when you're in a cold area where there's snow, the ball sack of your horse is a different size.
No.
That's how
Dare
detailed
roll.
they've gone. You go to snow, and the horse's nuts. That's the level of detail games are at now.
Oh, my
Ball
God.
sack physics.
Wow. Wow. We got to.
That's
Gotta
right.
play that-
Username Rockstar prides itself on horse genitals.
We got to play that game.
I
was just
once
thinking
beat
last
Spider-Man, I'm gonna get it.
I was just thinking last night, the way I feel about Spider-Man is how I feel about a new show that I've gotten into. Like yes, I'm playing and I enjoy the playing, but like I'm into the story.
Yeah, it's a good
Like
story.
I'm playing through the story too. That's a big part of it. And
yeah.
like I've finally gotten the feeling of like when I watch a good TV show where I'm like, this is amazing, and I'm substantially enough through it that I know it will end one day, and then what am I going to do?
You get another
And I'm
game.
like, I'm going to have to get another game.
yeah, we're definitely getting Red Dead.
Yep, that's got to be the next one.
100%.
It's got to be the next one. I will say
God
this.
of War, I heard, is really good too.
What is it?
God of War. It's a very popular franchise. It's only on PlayStation.
Okay.
Another one of the reasons I bought it was for the few exclusives.
I think maybe Red Dead Redemption could be cool.
It's more open world than Spider-Man is. You can ignore that. It's nothing.
Okay.
We're still good.
But I'm just saying, like, Spider-Man is so, like, perfect to me. It feels like discovering Lost for the first time.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I don't think another show can beat
Well,
this.
Spider-Man also has your draw because you already know who Spider-Man is.
Right.
You already know that world a little bit.
Yeah, I already like him.
Which you drop into something like Red Dead, which is a more massive game. Like, I mean, as far as widespread world, it's way bigger.
Could imagine. Yeah,
And,
because Spider-Man
and
is
you
just
don't know
Manhattan.
that world. Like, it'll take more to get into for that one, but everyone loves it. Like, there's so much. Everyone, it's just supposed to be amazing, absolutely amazing. So we'll definitely get that too.
Yeah.
And I want to get God of War. And I want to play The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2, which is not out yet. He is the opener. Oh, it's Screw Off. Never mind.
Oh, is it really?
Yep.
We've been opening them the whole time.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Wow. You know what? I think I'm gonna go to the restroom. Y'all,
I was just thinking I gotta do that too.
you be next.
That's cool.
Get into a
I'll host
bathroom
this thing real
train.
quick.
Oh man. But I guess I was like, what the fuck?
Little ditty on the piano for you.
But I guess we should bring how long it's been a while since we played the last song. It's hard to judge time when you're drinking and hanging out.
It's definitely been a while.
So why don't we play the next song then anyway, since we're going on the bathroom train.
Bathroom
What are we playing
train.
next? What do you like? What?
So let's see. So this will be something that I didn't necessarily engineer, but I assisted. I was the assistant engineer on this project, and as well as the editing engineer. I did a lot of editing on this project. So really proud of how it came out. It's one of the reasons I'm real proud of this project is because it's a new artist, and that's like me being a new engineer. I love working with new artists. That's one of the things I love doing, because like to me, one of the biggest and most fun parts about doing this is finding those new artists. You know, that's what I strive to do. Find the next cool thing. You know, what's really cool, and who's got the next cool voice and next new cool sound. So really proud of this project, really proud of this artist and this individual in particular. His name's Ryan Montgomery. He's all over social media. He's he's doing really well right now. He's all on iTunes and Spotify. He's everywhere you can find him. But his name, like I said, his name's Ryan Montgomery. This is going to be a single off of his one and only EP, coming out with new stuff soon. But this is going to be a single off of that EP called "Drop a Tailgate."
All right. So this is "Drop a Tailgate" by Ryan Montgomery. Enjoy.
Something about 95-degree summer days. Something about rocking out and trying to find some shade. Pour it up and take a sip. Feel the fire on your lips. Lay it back and take it slow and blast that stereo. Roll up 3 o'clock, pop me a pop top. I'm all ready for a good time. Girls in Desert Dukes, hair down, letting loose, soaking in the sunshine. Live it up and drink too much and drop a tailgate. And drop a tailgate. Come on. There's something about singing loud with people we don't know. Stars and stripes flying high on truck flagpole. That's right. Filling up this Yeti cup with the good stuff. Sunglass shades, summer haze, and time to waste. Roll up 3 o'clock, pop me a pop top. I'm all ready for a good time. Girls in Desert Dukes, hair down, letting loose, soaking in the sunshine. Live it up and drink too much and drop a tailgate. Oh yeah, we're gonna turn this thing into a party. Roll up 3 o'clock, pop me a pop top. I'm all ready for a good time. Roll up 3 o'clock, pop me a pop top. I'm all ready for a good time. Girls in Desert Dukes, hair down, letting loose, soaking in the sunshine. Live it up and drink too much. Live it up and drink too much and drop a tailgate. And drop a tailgate. And drop a tailgate.
All right, and we're back.
But yeah, you see, I got the editing credits and the assistant credits on that one.
So you were an
It's a fun
assistant engineer
record.
on that session.
I was, yeah.
What's that mean?
Oh, what does that mean? Well,
For Ryan Montgomery, what does that mean being
we-
a sitting there?
we
on
went
that
over
track
it a
now?
little bit earlier, but a lot of what I did for that record. I mean, I was a real big part of the recording process, which was a lot of fun and really, really cool. But basically, so I was in charge of setting up the entire studio for that session. So that means getting all the microphones and everything placed correctly and set up ready, and all the well, bless you, Jesus
God, now we're
Christ.
to edit that shit out.
Oh my God.
The diamonds are free.
But yeah, so my job was to get everything set up properly, get all the microphones in place, get all the gear ready, make sure everything was line tested, make sure everything sounded properly. That was my main job at the beginning of things, and then as we moved throughout the tracking day, it was my job to ensure that everything was working properly, and also run tape or bless you.
You gonna make it?
Pro Tools?
Yeah, or AKA Pro Tools, as
Yeah.
we call it in the digital world now. So it was my job to run Pro Tools and make sure everything there was file managed properly and recorded correctly.
Keep talking amongst yourselves.
Sorry, I'm getting interrupted by Ryan's aggressive sneezes over
So
here.
fucking aggressive.
Dude, I can't control. This is what it is. This is what it is.
But anyways, yeah. So that was kind of my job throughout the recording process, was to make sure everything was recorded properly and make sure all the microphones, make sure everything was working, make sure everything was in working order prior to, and then as everything was going down, making sure that everything continued to work as it should, as well as being in charge was a heavy responsibility. Probably the heaviest responsibility for an assistant engineer is running Pro Tools, which basically means you are literally in charge of making sure everything gets recorded as it should be recorded. So that was my job on that record for the recording process, and then once we got further into it, I was heavily involved in the editing, which is a lot of stuff that I won't go into detail with. But there's a lot of things that go into digital audio editing now that you're not all on analog tape. There's a lot of cutting up and piecing things together and making sure everything sounds the way it's supposed to sound, and making sure all the parts are in the right places, so that when it comes time to mix, it can be mixed the way it needs to be. So that's that was my
Roll with
role
Ryman.
on that record. Yeah, it was a good time. Really, really proud of the way it turned out. Sounds great. And Bo Maxwell was in charge of. Was an engineer on that record, so props to him. He did a great job out at the castle. Good friend and fantastic engineer. I've learned a lot with him. I've worked with him many times. I continue to work with him today. He's a great guy, fantastic engineer, and yeah, love working with him. So this is a great record.
Nice. I met Bo a few times. He was a cool dude.
He's a good dude. He looks out. He knows what it's like to be a starving engineer.
That's cool.
Well, we're approaching that time when normally time we start wrapping up. Before we go, though, we do want to make sure we get out all the shout outs. So we want to know where people can find you and find your music and what you do.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Hey,
well, plug.
hey,
I guess.
hey,
More of a plug than a shout out because you're here.
Yeah, more of a shameless plug.
Plug.
That's the best kind of plug.
Shout out.
It is.
Plug.
Nobody likes a
Shamelessly.
shameful
plug.
plug.
Shameful.
No.
Yeah. God, I'm so fucking ashamed.
So
to
you
say
can
this, but my
find me.
website is
I'm on Instagram, just at Chris Resovsky. That's
Chris Resovsky.
Which
Yeah.
you can find the proper spelling for that in the title,
Yeah.
but you
which
don't.
is
But
which is
which is
Resovsky.
that's correct. It's
Resovsky!
yeah, but it's if you say it any other way, it just doesn't mean anything, you know. So, yeah, props to Ryan.
But follow
Hell yeah.
him on
First shout out goes to
Instagram.
Ryan for that. So thank you.
Yes, I got one of the shout outs.
But on the Instagram,
But yeah,
obviously all these artists you can find on Spotify who he's worked with.
that's correct. You can find them all on Spotify. I'm working on getting my own website up right now. So
You got to give a shout out. I forgot. You mentioned the girl you're working with.
yeah.
Brooke
So right now, I
Thompson?
wanted, Brooke Thompson's her name. I wanted to make sure to mention her. Her and I are working on a record right now, and not probably, but 100% the probably the biggest record I've engineered myself to date, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be 6 songs. It's a full EP for an artist named Brooke Thompson. It's called Cotton Candy Dreams. It'll be coming out here sometime soon. We're still working on it a little bit, but it'll be it's a really, really cool record, and I'm super proud of the way it turned out. Like I said, it's the first big record that I've been a part of for Nashville or in Nashville rather, since I've been out here, and it's the first record that I've been played such a large role of. I'm engineering and co-producing the whole record, so I'm really excited about it. Like I said, once again, her name is Brooke Thompson. It's gonna be a really cool record. It's a cool mix of like pop rock and blues and little country influence, but a little reggae in there too, a little pop reggae and stuff. So it's a really, really cool record, really cool indie rock record. So I would love it if you guys check it out when it comes out. Once again, I don't really have a release date on it yet, but because we're still working on it now. We've been working on it for about 6 months now. Probably going to be working on it for another couple months or so, but yeah, we'll be coming out with it here in not too long, and I'm really excited to get it out and let people hear what we've been working on. So once again, her name is Brooke Thompson, and yeah, Cotton Candy Dreams. Check it out.
All right. And where can people find you, Ryan? Since you are host on this show.
Oh,
Co-host.
me. I was like, you forgot his name was Chris.
We've had a number of Ryans on this show.
So you
Man.
can find me. My name still is Chris.
Resovsky.
Chris Resovsky.
So on Instagram?
Oh, there's the J. There's
Yeah,
the J.
I told you I was
said
gonna
you were
do
going
it.
to throw it in. I didn't believe you at first. But yeah, Instagram is just at Chris Resovsky. That's at ChrisResovsky.
Facebook?
And then Facebook, yeah, just look me up, Chris Resovsky. Same spelling.
Snapchat for dick pics, specifically.
Yeah, you can look me up on Snapchat too. Add me or whatever, you know.
There you go.
It's all
He
the
said it
same
here. If
thing.
you want the dick pics, you can find him on Snapchat.
That's right.
What about
TikTok?
TikTok.
What is that?
I don't even know what that
New
is.
fucking bullshit.
Yeah, see, I don't. So I'm
Nothing
not,
new
I'm
may
not
be
on. I'm not on.
made.
I'm not on
Twitter? Are you on the
I'm
Twitter?
not- I'm
Our
not on the
adolescent
twatter.
years
Do
are
you
over.
tweet?
I don't twat. I'm not a twatter.
Website's coming soon. Website pending.
Yeah, website coming soon. So
Hashtag website pending.
yeah, choo choo.
Y'all can find me at Ryan Poole Music on Instagram. Ryan Poole, just
On the
Facebook.
thing. With Pool in E.
And then Pool with an E, that's right. And then musicgirlhideout.com is the website for our podcast
And the
/show and also for the studio. And linked off of there is ryanpoolmusic.com. So that's that. And then you're
Yeah, I'm Obadiah X on all the things. Obadiah X, you're already on my Twitch channel. You know where to find me.
Obadiah X.
Oh, also on Instagram and shit.
Yo, if they're hearing this on the podcast, they're not at Obadiah
That's true.
X.
Twitch.tv/Obadiah X. You can sound it out. It's probably in the description.
Get your phonics out, people.
Yeah, Instagram and Twitter is Obadiah_X. So some fucker took Obadiah X.
But that's going to be all except for...
We are. Oh, well, there is. Whoa.
You just
I
realized...
purposely earlier remember like don't forget, and I almost forgot. Good man.
The second you started wrapping it up, I was like, motherfucker, don't forgot. I remembered.
So here's the deal. Now every guest we ask this question to. Okay.
One very
boy.
important question.
The most important
All right.
question.
All right.
Now,
yeah,
but now
I'm
there's
down.
some stipulations.
The whole night has
Okay.
been a warm up to this.
Okay. Now you can't think about it. You can't have a delay.
Not even for 1 second.
It needs to come from your soul,
From your
this
heart.
answer. The most important thing.
Oh God.
The deepest part of yourself.
This is about to get real, people.
Now, if you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do. Now, don't think about it. Okay, just let it
Yeah,
let
no,
it
I
flow.
I clearly have no choice in the matter.
Okay,
So
you don't.
Yeah. Have a swig of beer first, too,
Yeah,
by the way.
you might
it'll help.
need it. This is a deep one.
Yeah, this is not to be.
cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
I'm out of beer.
Well, cheers.
This is not to be thought about. Nor deliberated upon.
All right, shoot.
So, if you had to choose,
And you do.
what would you say?
No, wait, don't just ask it. Don't just answer.
You're really killing me with anticipation here. You're really fucking killing me.
When you go to answer this question, I have to make it very
Oh my
clear.
God, I like you less and less every second you spend on this.
I want you to imagine
Oh, fuck.
what it would be like to be Chris and then
Okay.
act in that way on the day. Be ready to answer this question.
So, if you were to have
Instantly from your
like a graph or a chart
Yeah.
of how Chris should answer this question, what would that be like?
Okay. Not Chris.
Chris Resovsky answering the question.
Not Chris.
Right, just like that. Okay.
So we want
All
you
right.
at the height.
Oh my God.
We want you at that moment when you've hit Chris Resovsky. That moment is
All right.
that place of mind is the
All
place
right.
to answer the question from.
Okay.
So that's where it's coming from. All right,
Okay,
got
okay.
it.
So-
Got
Get it? Maybe if you need to flex a little.
Check.
I'm just saying.
If you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do, what would you say is your favorite kind of turtle?
Go.
Oh my God.
Don't think about it.
Leatherback.
Leatherback? Is that even a kind of turtle?
Yeah, the sea turtle.
Google it.
We're Googling it.
We've never had leatherback as
That's a
an
new answer.
before.
We never
Really?
see new answers.
No.
Not
that's like-
computing. Not computing.
That's like the sea turtle. It's awesome. Yeah, sea turtle.
Leatherback turtle.
I didn't swim with one, but I was
Voted
kayak-
GQ's number
Dude,
one
yeah.
sea turtle.
He's like
4
it's
years
like
running.
it's like the best sea turtle in the world, like one of the oldest.
The best.
Dude, I've actually got a really that's actually really funny that you asked me that question
Yeah.
because I've got a funny ass story about a
Let's
sea
roll
turtle.
with it. What's
Go.
we gotta know.
So, one time, me and a great buddy of mine, one of my best friends in the world, and he's about to get married. His name's Holden O'Neill. He lives in Raleigh, North
Holden.
Carolina. Holden, yeah.
Sounding very Tristan-esque.
Yeah, well, he's like, the writer of, what's that name? Was it
Dictionary.
Holden Caulfield? That's like was that Catcher in the Rye or some bullshit?
yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, Holden O'Neill.
Holden
Me and this
O'Neill.
motherfucker, right? We decided we wanted to go on a sea kayaking trip. And I'd been kayaking plenty of times, and we wanted to do a trip out in the intercoastal waterway. I'm from North Carolina. There's a huge intercoastal waterway there, as well as a great,
Quick question.
a shoreline. Sure.
What is an intercoastal
So the
waterway?
intercoastal waterway would be the barrier of water between like a coastline and the rest of like the mainland. So like
a river?
excuse me. Not really. So like for example, North Carolina has like the mainland of North Carolina, but then there's actually when you come to the end of that, there's like a strip of water, and then which you have to take a bridge over, and then you get to a strip of land called the Outer Banks, which is like the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
Oh, I know
which
all about the Outer
run-
Banks.
Yeah, so they run right along the edge there, right on the ocean.
They use my same. The letters that I use for my channel
So-
is OBX, which is their fucking logo. That's why I'm changing things.
yeah. So
That's the only reason I know about the Outer Banks.
yeah, OBX
interesting.
is like notorious logo.
Yeah,
for
my channel
the
is
Outer
OBX
Banks of North
Gaming.
Carolina. So
And then I realized that
gotcha,
shit, and I was like, I gotta change everything now.
So anyway, so the Intercoastal Waterway would be like between the Outer Banks and like the mainland of North Carolina. Does that make sense? And so it's like
Yeah.
the Sound and like that brackish water area, the kind of bit between there.
Not ever been there, but I'm taking your
That's
word
all
for
right.
it.
Yeah. So, well, there you go. That's what it is. Anyways, so me and my buddy Holden, we decided we were gonna go on a trip and take kayaks from the mainland out to the Outer Banks. So we were gonna travel across the intercoastal waterway and end up at Cape Lookout, basically, which is a really cool spot in North Carolina. It's right there on the Outer Banks. It's right on like a cape, obviously.
Like Superman wears.
So, there's, beautiful beach head there and everything. Anyways, so it was like we were loading up the kayaks with all our gear, and heading out for a few days. And so we spent I think we spent like 4 or 5 days out there, but and it was a crazy time. But one of the days, it was the day that it was the last day on our way out. So we were headed to Cape Lookout from the point that we had been. We kayaked probably a total of over 100 miles.
That's a lot.
That trip. And so this was the last day heading out. So we were on our way to Cape Lookout, and we had a bottle of Wild Turkey whiskey that we were just kind of like passing back and forth between our kayaks because we're just there paddling. It's the middle of summer. It's like July or some shit. It's hot. And just but gorgeous, it's just nothing but no clouds in the sky, we're just sunny as fuck, gorgeous day on the intercoastal, just kayaking along, and we're just passing this bottle of whiskey back and forth, and then all of a sudden this massive leatherback just comes up like right between us, and it's just like chilling, just floating on the water right between us, and we're just like, what, dude? And I've got the bottle of whiskey in my hand, and I'm just like, dude, Holden, look, giant turtle. And he was like, holy shit, dude. We were looking over there. This dude's head was massive.
Wow.
Just
cool.